Hello! Oh my gosh, it's Saturday! Hi! I went out and I touched grass and I'm in a good mood, so I wanted to come vibe. And also, I recently found out about this song and it fucking slaps. It's, I don't know, it gives me the early 2000s Nightcore vibe, but in a more cohesive manner. What happened to your computer? It fixed itself. I thought my GPU was broken, but it is not. So, hey, I can stream. Whoa. Hello, Vesta. Welcome in. And I saw a few first-time chatters here too. Welcome, iHeart. What's a heart? Welcome. And Maggie, hello, hi. And also hello to all the regulars. Welcome. Wait, here, let me do this. Oh, 3D. And I turned down the music a little bit. Wow. Oh, look at all those glorps. Hello. Hi. Wait, I'm not sleepy. My eyes are normal now. Whoa. They're normal. Hi, fine. Welcome. Hello, everyone. How are you? How's it going? Okay, let me pick a. You know what? Let's Gasp! It's Karbon. How are you? I'm doing better. I'm finally not sick anymore, and I feel great. I feel really great. I love this song too. Welcome in. How are y'all? Hi. Bite you. I was in the biggest mental rut for the past couple days. And you know what? I got so low that I decided, let me go on a walk. And somehow I feel better now. Wow. It's kind of upsetting, but sometimes a change of scenery, going out and touching some grass, getting a cup of coffee. I went to go visit the local library. I got sunlight and exercise, and now I feel better. What? Touching grass, yeah, let's go. It is a surprisingly healing experience. I've been cooped up in my little lab in the little space station for so long. Actually going out and experiencing some things has been really great. I'm really happy that I was able to go out and do some stuff. And I actually have some cool stories for you too. I spent the whole day out just going around. I went to a coffee shop to respond to messages. I went to this cute little hole-in-the-wall coffee shop. I got a brie and prosciutto sandwich. And then I pulled out my little space terminal, and I was just answering all my Discord messages. I had a huge backlog, and I was just going through it at the coffee shop. I was just like, wow, I feel like you know TikTok's like performative male. Have you seen that trend on TikTok right now? There's like this trend called like performative men, who are like dudes who wear and do stuff and like pick up certain hobbies in order to pick up women. And honestly, I felt like that because me out here dressed up nerd, like I'm nerded out. Okay, I have all the nerd gear. I'm going to a coffee shop. I have my little laptop and my little my cup of coffee, and I was just like, ooh, what a vibe. Yeah, it was nice though. Not you being happy is performative. Did you know reading is performative now? I don't know what's happening, but people were like, oh my God, when men go around and they read books, it's so performative. And I'm just like, excuse me? Excuse me? No, I was being happy. It was very nice to go out and touch some grass and explore the world a little bit and just like go see things. Oh, I spent like 5 hours in the library, and I need to tell you why, but we'll get to it. I feel like a performative woman when I get new hobbies that are male dominated. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I think it's like the human tendency to be like, oh, maybe I don't belong here. But if you enjoy it, who cares, right? Red Kitsune, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Karbon's painted nails and Matcha Labubu reading his feminist literature in a public library. Okay, actually, okay, you want to know what I was doing at the library or why I was spending so much time there? It was because I found out that the library is legally required to store old US patents. That's right. I found the patent section of the engineering division in the library, and I was looking over steam engines from the 1800s. I spent so long there. I took pictures too. I found diagrams of propeller planes from like the 1900s and how they were dealing with icing problems for the first time, and how they like came like they were able to overcome it. And it was just so cool. It was like so fun to see all these really niche old engineering docs. It was hilarious. I did not know that they had that. And then I found an entire floor in the library. It's a very big library that I went to. It was like one of the main ones in my state. And I was able to find like all the sorts of old tech. I even found stuff about the Apollo space missions. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I found old newspapers. And okay, wait. Okay. Hold up. I'm sending photos to myself so I can show you, chat. I'm sending photos to myself so I can show you. Where's the library? I'm not telling you, okay? That would dox me. That would dox me, silly. I could never tell you that. Okay. I'm sending all the photos of the thing to myself, but I need to make sure none of these are show my location, okay? Time news all boom 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 do 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 boom 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 do. Okay, I think that's all of them. Wait, oops. Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh
boy,
come back.
That's a lot of subs.
What the heck? I turn away for one moment. Blingy Buns, thank you for the subs. Oh my gosh, thank you for the 5 gifted. That's crazy. Can we get a W blingy? W blingy. Oh, they got lots of bling. Hey, ooh, don't stop me. Okay. I got it. I got the docs. I got the receipts. Boom. Okay, check this out. Here's some old ones that I found. I have to crop some of them to make sure that I don't dox myself, but I'll show you. Look at this. This is probably one of the funniest ones that I found. You do. Ooh. Okay, let me make sure it's not fully cropped. Look at this. Okay. Let me show you this announcement. Also, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Angel it. Okay, look at this. I found this in the science newsletters from 1938. All right? Like, it's a deep cut, and it's a book, an entire book of scientific discoveries. It's a science newspaper that goes over every science discovery that starts from the 1700s to the year 2000. And I just opened a random page and I got to 1938. And the reason why I think this is absolutely hilarious, that it's so crazy, is that read this title. Saturn may have a 10th moon. British astronomer suggests, okay? 10th moon. You want to know how many moons Saturn has? In the year of 2025, do you want to know how many moons Saturn has been discovered? 273 to be exact. We're so off. In 1938, they thought Saturn might have 10. Isn't that crazy? Like, it just gets me, okay? It gets me so much. And I was just so surprised. There was a whole shelf, a whole floor of these. They had ones specific to astronomy. They had ones specific to aerodynamics and like aerospace, like sending planes into the sky, because I was a big fan. They had a naval one. There was just a book that had every registered ship that was listed. It was just a list of, this is the ship name, this is how big it is, this is who owns it, and this is when it was built. And that's it. And I was just like, why is this here? Why do we have a ship registry? And then the patent registries are so awesome. And then I even had also Stario, thank you. I'm glad you like my voice. Sometimes I used to not like it a lot, but people tell me it's good, so I don't know. Oh wait, how many moons does Jupiter have again? I don't know. I think I shouldn't say. If I don't know, I shouldn't say. That's something that I need to get better at. Okay, let me Google it actually. How many moons? How many moons does Jupiter have? 95! Oh my god. There's a lot of fucking moons. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of moons. So this is really funny. That was a really funny one. Let me see if I have another great one that I need to show you. There's so many great ones. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way. Your mom, thanks mom. Thanks, mommy. Anyway, wait, I have to hide this real quick because I have to crop it. Otherwise, you'll see the thing, and I'll get doxxed. Okay. Okay. There we go. Is it cropped? Yes, it is. It is cropped. Okay. Look at this one. I'm just skipping this song. This is in a actual journal. It was just so fun. Science and Mechanics. Is the government UFO report phony? Back in 1960, we were doing things like, UFOs? Are they phony? And this is their rendition of a UFO. Look at that rendition. Look at this flying ass saucer thing. You know, it's just I don't know. Nowadays we know that it wouldn't look like this, but I mean, it was still funny.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, this is not even 1963. Move Glorp. Glorp. It says 1950. This is in Oregon, apparently. It was cited. This is yeah, so it's just so fun to see like old stuff like this. Wait, I got another one, chat. I got another one. I was there for so long. Be me finding old patents at a library and fucking freaking out. Oh, this one's my favorite one. This is peak. This is peak. I gotta show you. This is so peak. Look at this. Look at this. What do you think this is? What do you think this is, chat? This is the patent for the one of the first lifting equipments. This is a tension lifting equipment. It's a gymnasium apparatus. What fucking year was this? Does it say? Oh, it doesn't say. It was in New York. Oh, let me read. I'm trying to read. Oh, also, there's an advertisement for the Young Christians Training School. But this was fucking old. And this is the literal, like, old. This is like the first print. So how these things work is every year the library would print these off that year and they would store it on the shelves. So the pages I was touching, oh my God, I had leather books falling apart on me in the middle of the library. I felt really bad. Like I'm pretty sure the last person who has touched this book is dead. I'm pretty sure no one has touched this book alive today. And so when I grabbed the book and I pulled it off the shelf, so much like book gunk and dust fell immediately all over me. I was wearing a black shirt and I was just immediately, I looked down, it was brown. And I was just like, oh God. Yeah, it was a little ew moment there. I was a little like, oh man, maybe I gotta be a little careful here. I was like, am I gonna catch something? Am I gonna get like an ancient disease? Who knows? I know hurting books did make me really sad. I tried my best to keep them I tried my best to take care of them, okay? To be fair, I did everything I could to make sure that I was treating them as gently as possible. It's just they're really fucking old. Like I can't get around the fact that they've just been exposed to air for a long time. But yeah. Also, someone in chat was saying earlier that this gym equipment looks like it could kill them, and I fully agree. Why the hell does my gym equipment have a fucking metal spike here? Why? Oh, also I found the date. This was filed July 20th, 1890. All right. Yeah, it looks like a guillotine, but I can see how it's working, right? Like, I guess there's like a pulley system. Like, this is the pulley system right here, and it pulls the weights. Kind of reminiscence of modern weights, you know? This is the hook, and it pulls up. Kind of cool. The old book smell is actually really fucking good. I kind of liked it. Okay, chat. Is that wrong of me? Am I a sadist? Is it bad for you to say that I like the old book smell? I'm so blind. What? Okay. Wait. I'm gonna zoom it in for you, chat. I'm gonna zoom it in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, I'm gonna move this. Okay, you see right here. You see where my mouse is? That is a pulley. This pulley pulls this weight here. These are metal plates of iron, and there's a rope that goes up, and here's another pulley that goes down. So you can pull outwards. You see these two thing handles that you pull out, and then it lifts the weight. You see? You get it? I know, it's crazy. Also, Amber, hello, welcome in. Nice to see you. We're looking at old gym equipment because that's what I was doing at the library. It was such a mythical find. I'm so glad I was able to find this. It was so good. Oh, I got another one. That's really great. Oh, you're gonna really like this one. Chat. Okay, this was another one that I had. Discover for yourself how easily you can prepare in your spare time at home for an exciting, high-paid career in today's blue-chip profession, electronics. Job advertisement postings. Did you know back in the early when was this fucking, I think this was 1955. In 1955, they were looking for people to have jobs. Can you believe that? There was not enough people working in blue chip jobs that they had to put ads in the newspaper to ask people to apply to learn. Like, they would hire you with no experience. Isn't that crazy? They were like, anyone, please. You just need a pulse. Get in here. And the craziest part is, I looked at these numbers here, right? Here, you know what? You know what? I'll show you. I'll show you because you won't believe me if I say it. You won't believe me unless I say it. Uh, do do do. Boom 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Also, welcome in. Hello, hello. Hi. Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, okay. I want a surprise. I want it to be a surprise. I had to rejoin. Am I good now? Oh, Jadelfish. Hello, welcome in. I hope that you can see. Were you bugging out earlier? Okay. Who's gonna let him know that people had to go through books for job applications? You mean, I mean, this was definitely in the era of like a firm handshake and a nice smile, you know? Hello, hello, Mithio, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so first off, the blue chip electronics thing was like it's kind of cute, you know, it's kind of fun. The people are like saying, hey, are you fed up being your dull job and you want like something cool, you know, you want something exciting? And it was like, you can have your pick of glamour jobs that any man would be proud of in TV, radio broadcasting, or automation, or the aerospace program. Really funny because TV and radio jobs no longer really exist. Automation doesn't really exist that much anymore. Aerospace is kind of the only one left. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these industries kind of got consolidated crazily. But back in the day, 1955, you know, it's a different time. And look at this. As you move up in the ladder in this booming field, you can earn the kind of money that only men dream of. $5, $6, $7 an hour. You can earn $7 an hour, chat. Oh my God, a whole $7. All right, fun guess. How much do you think $7 is? How much do you think $7 an hour is? I'm pulling it up. I'll show you, but I want you to think. I want you to guess. How much do you think $7 is? A minimum of 26? All right. To $30, at least $30. This is an advertisement, mind you, chat. This is an advertisement for an entry-level job. They are saying you start at $5 an hour and you can get up to $7 an hour with experience. They'll train you in electronics. All right. Oh, also welcome back from ads. Chat, all of you, every single one of you is wrong. It's $84. It's you earned $84 an hour. What the fuck? Right? No job experience. You just walk in and you work in an electronics job and it's yo. So next time a boomer says that they had it hard back in their day, you show them this. What the fuck? Right? Oh my God. Look, you want to know? Okay. You can earn up to $12,000 a year. Okay, $12,000 a year. Guess how much $12,000 a year is? $12,000 a year. That's your salary. I mean, let's see. How much is that? That is a $144K. No education required. Mind you, you can get this job without a bachelor's degree. What? Huh? I can't believe it. Oh man, maybe I should have been born in 1955. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Wait, chat. Wait. Actually, hold up one moment. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Also, hello. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I need it. Chat. How many of you are woman? I'm sorry. Do you have a penis? Because I would like to enunciate. You can be one of these men. Sorry. Get back to the kitchen. You can't earn $83 an hour in an entry-level job unless you have a dick. Sorry. This is crazy. Oh, times are different, huh? Right? It's just I low-key think you're the first astronaut VTuber I've seen. Good, good. I had to bury so many of them. It's taken me so much to put them all down, to be the top, to be the only one. No, my rights, my rights. Oh, I'm bald. I'm balding. Ah. Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, to be fair though, I'm really like, it's double-edged in that one, I'm happy that these fields are more accessible to so many people now. Like you can work in aerospace and not be a white man, which is pretty nice, you know? Like the opportunity being available for other people, other like women, people of color, pretty cool. The fact that we get paid significantly less though, it kind of hurts. Not gonna lie. Knowing that my father's father, no, maybe even my father's father could earn well into the six-figure range just strutting out of high school, soldering some electronics together. Like, I don't know about you, but that makes me feel certain things. It makes me feel a certain way. I literally had to go through graduate school, and I don't even make that much. Yeah. OMG, it's the astronaut. Hello. It's me. I'm the astronaut. Welcome in. Anyway, this is you can see why I spent so much time here, right? Like, do you get why I like I like spent multiple hours in the library looking over these documents, like looking over the historical pages? I was literally having an existential crisis in the library, manhandling these ancient books. I'm like trying my best not to break them. I'm like delicately holding them, and every page I turn, my world is shaken once again. Every single time. Your father's father's your grandpa? Oh shit. I just forgot there was a name for that. Oh my god. My grandpa. Hey, you got a paper published in Nature, so I mean I did get a paper published in Nature, but like the fact that I have to go through so much education and so much theory when you can just roll around and just have fun. It's just so crazy. Look at you. Let me can I highlight this section here? You don't need college or even wait. You don't even need a high school diploma? What? What? It's getting worse. I didn't read that. I didn't. Oh, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. What happened? I'm so bad. Well. Oh no, your cat threw up on the floor. Money's not real. Let's just ignore that. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the resub. Oh my gosh. For 3 months. Whoa, happy 3 months.
Ooh.
No college, no high school makes this want to sob. I mean, okay, the world has changed. We live in a time where you do need to have an education. You do need these specialized trainings. But I mean, I don't know. It just goes to show you that I kind of fuck your employer. Like kind of the social contract of a 9-to-5 has been violated in recent years. So if you're like shitting on the clock, you shouldn't feel too guilty. That's all I'm saying. Hello. Welcome in. Okay. Let me find another one. I have a bunch of these. I took a photo of a couple good ones. A couple good ones that I really enjoyed. Brother student loans could have been a white man in 1958. Yeah, instead of student loans, you could have just been a white man in the 1950s. Sad. When I saw my high school dropout made the same salary as my starting salary in STEM, it hurt my ego greatly. Okay. Also, welcome in, people. I'll take a moment to say this. If you are equating how much money you make with like any sort of morality, I think you fucked up. I think capitalism specifically, and just like how we I don't want to say capitalism, but how the world values certain job duties, it doesn't mean that you are any more moral because you earn more money. And if you earn more money than someone else, you're not better, okay? And if you earn less money than someone, it doesn't make you worse. For some reason, like in our lizard brains, we like to be like, oh my God, someone making $500,000 a year must like know something or be better in some way than someone making minimum wage at McDonald's. But like, honestly, not really. I feel like billionaires should exist. Oh, do you think should or shouldn't exist? I mean, billionaire. I mean, it's fine if they like contribute. To me, in my opinion, a billionaire can exist if they really help that many people. Like if they really revolutionize an entire industry. Like fucking who's it? The guy who made the railroads, like Henry Ford, and making cars. Like yeah, fuck it. You made cars. You can be a billionaire, sure. I mean, pay your taxes, and that's pretty much it, right? Okay, let me find another one. Okay, I got one more for you, chat. I got another one for you. This one. Wait, let me make sure. Okay. I think this is not. Okay, I need to make sure that there's no doxing information here. Okay. Here's another one for you, chat. This is another one from Youth Companions. This is a news article talking to young men on how to pick up women. This is an article I found from what the fuck? What age is this from? 1899. This was the Rizzler page. This is a young gentleman's magazine teaching young men how to pick up women. And the funniest part is, they're role playing here. They're saying, this is like, oh, my back plane broke. He said, I feel if I was 66 years old. Bergord, there ain't another man here who could bait that run. Hello, but what is a wild ye, Professor? I don't know what the fuck this says. Can you read this shit? Because I can't. But apparently,
yeah, you
this is like a
need that Karbon. Maybe
game.
It's time you start looking at old newspapers.
This is like apparently a pickup guide. This is like walking through a hypothetical if you found an old-timey woman in 1855 and you're like, hey there, baby girl, what's up? This is the equivalent. And it comes with graphics too. It's just I love it. I'm the Rat Snatcher. Hello, Rat Snatcher. Welcome in. Yeah, this is I can't see, gang. I can't see either. Fuck me. I can zoom in some more. Here, let's zoom in a lot and then read one passage. Maybe this is a good passage. When passenger agent superintendent Good drove away two great central... Wait, is this a historical accountment? The professor. Oh. Why, how do you do, Ray? The girls broke out in a torrent of praises for Ray's.
Newspapers are crazy, because they do tips and advice on how to rizz up the opposite sex, fashion trends, why women are refusing marriage, those are hilarious. You should look up the newspaper talking about the hat pin stabbing.
Chat, I really want to go back and look at all these old newspapers and then just see like the old-timey takes on stuff. Like it's just so funny. It's just crazy to me. Look, there's like little shoe ads on the side too and everything. And did I take a picture of the propeller one? Oh man, let me look. I took some engineering ones too. Don't you worry, chat.
Is this a fucking smut book from 1880s? What are they gonna do? Flash US those scandalous ankles and shoulders?
Stop! Don't put shame on them. Yes, it is a smut book, okay? It is an actual smut book, okay? You gotta you put some respect in their name. Okay. Wait. I got another one. That I really like. This one is crazy. Alrighty. Here we go. What did I walk into? I'm very interested. Are you on some sort of archive? Yeah. Kind of. So for the people who are coming in, hi, I'm Karbon. I'm an astronaut VTuber. I'm also an IRL physicist. And for the past couple days, I've been feeling really overworked. I've been feeling like kind of in a rut because I traveled for work. I got super tired, and then streaming has been tough for me for a little bit. But I went to go touch some grass today in order to like make myself feel better, and I found an archive. I found out that one of my local libraries has an archive of a bunch of old historical textbooks. Not only historical textbooks, but newspapers, patents, business listings, and I went to fucking town, and it was a great time.
Oh boy, that's
sorry.
a lot of subs.
Oh my gosh. Antique, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you very much. W Antique doll. Yeah, W Antique. And if you got a sub, please enjoy. Use all the emotes. Get your money's worth. And if you got the sub, you can refresh, and then the ads will go away. You should write fix. I could. I don't know. I feel like I want to cover this. Oh, I feel that traveling, being sick, and personal stuff. Yeah. You know, like when
It
all
will
the stuff
never
stack
not
up,
be
it
funny
gets
that
tough.
the New York Times said humanity would never fly for 100 years and the Wright brothers flew a plane like a couple weeks later.
I need to find. I wonder what the New York Times article said. Like when they said the humans would never fly, what did they say once the Wright brothers did fly? But then again, I feel the same way about certain stuff. Like if you were to point a gun to my head and you said, "Hey, Karbon, is cold fusion gonna happen?" I would look at you, I would laugh, and I say, "Not in 100 years." You know what? I'll go on the record right now, chat. I don't think cold fusion or room temperature fusion is going to happen for the next 100 years. And if someone does it within the next week, I'm probably going to shit myself, you know? Like I can't see it. And I don't really blame the New York Times journalists for not knowing either, because like it takes, okay. The Wright brothers were mad, okay? They were fucking insane, and they somehow made it work. All right. Like it is truly a marvel of engineering, and someone out there might be insanely cracked and be able to do it. But for me, I just can't see it. Yeah. Also, thank you for the gift subs. Welcome in. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. I've been like enjoying going around, walking. I had some ice cream. I had some coffee. I was doing some little walkies, and then I also went to the library and I got all this stuff. This one is a really great one. This one was one of my personal favorites. I went into like a little information hole from this one. It turns out someone here, and this is what I'm showing here, is claiming now 30 days of driving in a single tank of gas. Chat, this is a fake ad. This isn't real. It actually sucks. And if you read how it reads like the modern day ads. You know how you think, I don't know about you here. I'm going to pause the music. I don't know about you, but when I think of old timey ads, I think of them being like sophisticated with large vocabulary, appealing to the learned man, you know? This one is a fucking scam, and let me show you how it reads. Let me read a little bit about it, okay? Ooh, this one is a little too low resolution. Let me find a zoomed up version. Do I have a zoomed up version? Okay, I do. I do have a zoomed up version. Here we go.
Have you ever watched Drunk History?
Mhm.
The Wright brothers apparently had a sister that helped them out and figure out what was wrong with their test flights.
Really? Oh, I did
But they
not know
were
that.
really weird about their relationship towards her.
Oh no, that's I should watch that history video. That would be fun. We can do that for a stream later. Okay, already here's the old timey scams. I can't wait to read this. It's okay. All right. I'm getting in my voice acting. 6 months ago, perhaps the first time in history, the United States government issued a patent protection to an invention that has been classified as illegal. Sounds strange? Not really. Here's why. I'm sure you're familiar with the famous gasoline economy test run by all major oil companies. Well, did you know that the remarkable new invention described in this page is actually banned from these tests because it's too effective? All caps, by the way. Do you know that this is because the invention saves so much gasoline that it gives so much economy that it is actually illegal for a test driver to fit because it boosts gasoline mileage? And it has been outlawed. What the fuck? It's a thing claiming to increase your gasoline mileage. But I don't know if you've checked. That's not how gasoline works. You can only get so much mileage out of a thing. You can't just install a device and suddenly get more oomph out of your engine. And it's just hilarious that they lead with, this is considered illegal. It's too effective, blah, 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 blah. Look how easy it is. It's literally clickbait scamming in the early, whatever fucking year this is. So funny. Anyway, I just thought it was because gasoline costs as little as 1 cent a mile. Amazing. Yeah, this is not real. I looked it up afterwards. They were making a bunch of claims and they basically sold a device that did nothing. Yes, it's a doctors hate him ass ad. You're right, Sonny. It is a doctors hate him. This is the original doctors hate him. These are just so great. It just tickles my funny bone in like a really special way. And not only this, I really enjoyed seeing the old patents because the learning about the scientific progress was really cool. And then seeing like how people had different issues and how like they sorted them out. Because it had things like, oh, when planes fly up really high, they develop ice. We developed a scraper to scrape off the ice in really tall planes, and I'm like really high flying planes. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. You know, I feel like I don't know how much of the information is outdated, but regardless, it's really interesting to see like how people didn't learn everything overnight and how things were simpler back then. You know. Also, Wade, welcome in. How are you? Let me go find another one. Do I have any more? Do I have any more that I took pictures of? Oh man, I didn't take pictures of all of them. There's just so many. There's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. Oh, here's another job posting one. You want another job posting one? This is another one. This one is about to be... Oh, I'm in the way. My bad. I'm in the way. Sorry. I'm getting out of the way. This free booklet will tell you how to become a computer programmer. And their salary that they quote is you can make as much as $20,000. That was 185,000 USD today. That's crazy. That's how much money you could be making. Insane. I didn't realize if people got paid that much. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, I do like Glorp. Glorp is very cute. Is it only for men again? Well, this one's in 1969. So, 1969. Maybe not. Maybe is it only for men? Possibly. There's a pic. Wait. This was after woman suffrage. There's a woman here. Oh my god. Chat. You can make $185,000 as a woman. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh my god.
I just
woman.
got here. What is
Rare
this
sight
stream
woman.
about face with open mouth and cold sweat?
Well, I was just looking at historical documents at my library. There's a bunch of like old patent stuff that I was really curious about, and I found these old newspaper ads and whatnot. And
Guys,
I'm
I've
just
been
showing
doing
some of the
chemistry
photos that I
for
took.
almost 9 hours and I want to lay down and scream. I want to go home.
Just finish the reaction then. Just finish titrating, you know? Just say that it turned pink. Quick, bring out the pickup lines we learned earlier. A female is spotted. How art you do, woman? Would you care to go on a fancy with me? She'd be making less, but probably more than I am now. You know what? You're probably right, Sav.
But this could also be at the time when women weren't getting paid as much as their male counterparts. Wait, that's still happening today, KEKW. I fear that in the future a job in tech would just be a minimum wage job. There has been so many layoffs and the job offers are not the same as they used to be.
There's been
Do
a
not
lot
bring up
of
titration.
layoffs, yeah.
I have trauma.
I love titration. It's just so silly. I mean, as in, it caused me so much pain. So
I wonder
yeah.
if she was a computer.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the human number math calculators? Wait a minute. What if they're programming and she's just the one who crunches numbers? Oh no, I didn't even think about that. That's a very real possibility. Oh, whoa. But yeah, it's I don't know about like my brain just shit itself. It was a very fun time. I really enjoyed going out and seeing all this stuff. And it was really cool to see like old we can play some K-pop actually. Let me think. Yeah, I do. I am feeling some K-pop. Some chill K-pop. It was really cool to see all these old documentation, like all the old documents. And I felt very grateful when I was looking at all of these. I'll go back. I felt really grateful that all this stuff had been stored for me to read, because I feel like it's so hard to have access to information sometimes, and to make such high quality information available for everyone for free is just, I don't know. I love library systems. I love the fact that I, a random individual, can come in and look up the literal engineering documents from NASA during the Apollo space missions. Is that not crazy? Like, I can see some of the original documents and I can see their designs and I can see notes about their engineering decisions. And all it takes is a little bit of elbow grease, me picking up a free math book from the same library, and I can learn it. I think that's really cool. And it was just like, man, I need to go back. I'll probably go back and take a look later. I think I'm going to try to maybe for a stream, I take a bunch of photos of one of the first space missions, and then we try to recreate it on stream. Or not recreate it, but we walk through it, you know? Because there are accounts of every single step of the way. So we could totally find out how the first space shuttle was built. And the documents are out there. I can just look it up. And I can just read the original docs. I don't need to read a YouTube or watch a YouTube video. I can just read the paper, which is pretty cool. Libraries are the most cool thing to exist and deserve so much more love. Yeah, it's just like, it's been a number of years since I've been in a library. It's been a while. And to go into one now and seeing all the resources, man, I really underutilize them. When I was younger, I should have spent more time in these sections. You know what? I was just reading smut. You know, when I was a kid, I was just reading manga books and Percy Jackson and weird fanfic. What a time to be alive. Okay, stop clipping me. Stop clipping me. That was a nervous burp. Thank you for showing us. Brings back memories of the library as well. Going back on the machines and giving digitalized old newspapers. Yeah, it is cool. By the way, is this part of the library has a specific name, like old archive or something? They're records. If you look at your local library, see if they have a records section. A lot of these are just recorded bits for history. It's like a history section in your library.
Did
Not
you
all
used to read
libraries will
smut
have
when
them,
they were
but some
called
will.
lemons?
No comment. No comment. Not gonna lie, I would have been so much smarter as a kid if I sat down and read science books. I mean, I would have been too. I would have also been smarter as a kid if I read science books for fun. But I think part of being a kid is to dream. You know, Like the one thing, it's one thing to read engineering books and like science books, but it's another thing to just read sci-fi books or fantasy stories and just be excited about something, you know? I think that's way more valuable when you're developing, in my opinion. I think all the engineering stuff and all the math and sciences, that can be learned later, but learning how to be imaginative, I think that's really hard to do. And take it from me, I've worked with many really great engineers. A lot of them just can't think of anything cool. Like they are so brain dead cookie cutter. If I ask them to make something new, they just can't do it. Like their brain just can't comprehend it. Oh, we're all sniffing the new chatter. I came from TikTok where you introduced Fred. I didn't expect you to be live. Oh my gosh. Hello, Max. Welcome in. Welcome in. We were just looking at old library books earlier. I need to go back and find the Wright brothers. I saw a newspaper about the Wright brothers like propeller upgrade. I didn't see the original article, but I saw one where they were upgrading a propeller system with more horsepower. It was funny. In order to fly more for the longest time, people were thinking that all they needed was a propeller that spun the blade. They just needed to make it stronger. And at one point they realized if you have too strong of an engine propeller on your plane, you'll actually just rotate the plane. Because when you spin, right, when the propeller spins, it generates an opposite spin in the other direction. And so if your spin is too strong, your plane will just start flipping the other way. I just think it was really funny. And they only found out in the air. Isn't that crazy? Fucked up. What can be invented at the moment? Oh, here, let me
Blaring
clarify.
AC/DC's Highway to Hell. You want anything? I'm heading into the nearest crusty gas station. You want chips? An
I want
off-brand
chips.
Coke? Bits?
I do. Thank you, Antique. Oh my god. I'll take bits. I'll take bits. Eating the bits. Thank you. Did they live? I don't know if they lived. I don't know. I know numerous people have died during plane testing though. So safety was kind of optional back then.
Buy him a cinnamon roll.
A lot of people just kind of raw dogged it. Like back in the day, you would just put shit together and see if it exploded. And sometimes it would. Sometimes it went kaboom and you came out missing a few fingers. I mean, I told this before on stream. The joke in chemistry labs is you can tell who's a fluoride chemist because they're missing fingers. If you're missing fingers, you're a fluoride chemist because fluorine is an extremely reactive molecule. It's just is that anyway, I don't get it. Chat, explain. Fluoride or fluorine is the most electronegative molecule. It's highly reactive. It's super corrosive. It's extremely combustible. It is pretty much all it is the chemist's nightmare. It's the thing that you need to use in order to melt glass, like in order to break and melt through glass and diamond and stuff like that. You need to use fluorine, and it is highly toxic and explosive and every danger warning possible. So hard to work with. All the glasses. Yeah, I do got the glasses. Oh, actually, let me see if I have a picture of this. Wait, I'm gonna send you. Give me a second, chat. Give me a second. I'm gonna hide my model again. I'm gonna try to find. I might have a photo of a. I want to show you a particle accelerator thing. A Gorad Eagle. Yeah, fume hoods are definitely necessary for any fluorine work. Fluorine is the molecule. Isn't that what they use to make toothpaste? It isn't toothpaste. Wait. Okay, it isn't toothpaste, but hear me out. Let me explain why. Let me find the photo first and then I'll send it to you. Okay, chat. Hold on. I'm trying to take pictures. I went to this particle accelerator. I'm trying to take photos of it. Boom, 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 boom. Where's the particle accelerator photos? Trying to find them. Oh my god, I'm in it though. Fuck! Wait. I'm looking. Okay, you can barely see it, but it's enough. All right. Does it erode our teeth? No, actually the exact opposite. All right. Boom, I'm back. Hi. Hello, chat. Okay. So, yes, fluoride is in our toothpaste. Actually, fluoride is in our water. The reason why fluoride is safe in that way is because fluoride binds with the positive calcium ions. So you have calcium on your teeth, right? You know how you have calcium on your teeth? It's the thing that's really important that you're trying to protect. Well, bacteria likes to fuck up your calcium. However, fluoride is an extremely electronegative molecule. So what happens is by putting fluoride in your toothpaste, it will bind to your calcium and occupy all the extra binding spots. So all the calcium will be covered with fluorine. And a calcium fluorine bond is one of the strongest bonds out there. So bacteria can't break it apart. They want to eat your teeth, but they're not able to because the fluorine is blocking it. So that's why it's edible, safe. It's chemically crazy, but like edibility, like how can you ingest it? Can you like put it in your toothpaste and drink it? Yes, it's fine. It just binds with itself. Yeah. What happens if you eat a lot of toothpaste? Well, you're probably gonna have diarrhea and shit it, but it's not gonna like bind inside you. I'm saying that molecularly and chemically fluorine is scary, but as a as a biological molecule in like large scales, it's just gonna bind to whatever carbon or positive ion is present. It just binds and then immediately becomes inert, essentially. Mm-hmm. Yeah, big ups for fluorine. I mean, there has been some towns that have removed fluorine from their water supply, and let me tell you, they fucking regret it. There's this one town that removed fluorine, and immediately after removing fluorine from their water supply, because they were concerned about weird shit and bad negative side effects of fluorine. Except when they took out the fluorine, their cavity rates spiked up so much within the next 3 years that they had to beg the city council to put it back in. So it was like a 30% cavity increase. It's pretty extreme. Fluorine in your water is generally a good idea to prevent cavities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Barium is also a pain to deal with. Oh, the little like orange gas that's super deadly. I don't know. I'm not much of a chemist, but their chemistry can be really scary. Like working with certain chemicals, it's super tough. I've been in a semiconductor fabrication facility before, though. Those were really cool. Oh my gosh, they've been really nice. The chemistry that goes on in there and like the equipment is insane. Like you have to wear a full clean suit, and you're like, it feels like you're in space. Mm-hmm. I love potassium and when it burns. Oh, the potassium color when it burns. It is a really pretty
Fun
color.
rock fact: fluorite has a lot of different variations and looks absolutely awesome. It also glows under a black light, giving off a very bright blue.
Fluorite? It glows. Oh, it's fluorescent. That's cool. That's really cool. I love like things that glow. It feels so alien to me, you know? Mm. Do you know about the C8 DuPont pollution? Wait, do I have it up? Hold up. Did I upload that YouTube video at all? I think maybe I did. I watched the whole thing on stream and I actually crashed out. Is this it? Wait, I found it. Chat. I actually found it. That's crazy. Oh my god. Look. It's me. It's me reacting to a video. Yeah, here. I'll put the link in chat if you're curious. And this is I did watch the DuPont video that who was it? Veritasium put out. Oh my gosh. I actually was freaking out during it. It was an insane story, like the whole C8 scandal. Some guy like knowingly poisoned millions of people around the world for generations. Crazy. Yeah, I remember that stream. Yeah, DuPont with Teflon. Yep. It's so I found out then that Teflon isn't actually the problem. It's a byproduct in the making of Teflon. Like one of the early early species in the fabrication of Teflon. Oh, Kane, Invicta man, hello. Call him Mr. Worldwide. Why Mr. Worldwide? What is happening? What is happening? Also, welcome in, Raiders. Hi, hello. Hi, Raiders. How are you doing? How are you doing, Kane? How are you doing? Wait. I got you. I got you. Mr. Worldwide. Wait. Ooh. Why? Are they talking about your bald head, Kane? Is that what it is? No, Kane has such luscious locks. Look at his model. It's so nice. Hello, new friends. Welcome in. Ooh. It's always nice to see you. It's been a while. We did a peak collab before. But yeah, Kane is with a whole group of very sexy Invicta men. If you want to look him up, here, let me make sure Kane's being shouted out. Wait. Someone make him bald? Fuck. You want me to be? Yeah, I'll bald for Kane. Sure. Here you go. I'm bald. Wait. I got you. Pew. Bah! My bald head. A bald head. Pew. There you go. Okay. I'm putting it away. I heard you toggle the helmets. I heard the helmet toggle on, and I want you to know you did it too slow. Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all are so silly. Any Groot ears, yes, and I got cat ears. What were you up to, Kane? How are you doing? Yeah, we were looking at old documents earlier, like freaking ancient patent applications and old newspaper ads from the 1900s. It's been a wild time. And now we're just vibing. We were looking at the Teflon DuPont scandal. Oh, and chat, I wanted to tell you. Oh, Kane had to raid and run. Okay. That's totally fine. I hope he's doing well. All right, chat. Oh, we got a straggler. Welcome in, Concerned Weebly. Hello, welcome in. First off, who here in my community knows what a raid? Wait. Can we do a poll? Or actually, no, I don't know if they know how to do polls. Put a 1 in chat if you know what a Twitch raid is. Put a 2 in chat if you don't know what a Twitch raid is. Because I know we have a huge influx of TikTok viewers. I want to know how many people know what a Twitch raid is. Okay, we got a lot of 1s. Okay, you guys know what raids are. Wait, there's a raider in here who says they don't know what a raid is. What? You're from Kane's community. You were here from a Twitch. How do you not know? Anyway. Okay, well, there's actually some 2s. Yeah, there's some 2s. Go, you slay, girl? Thank you. I do slay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, actually, so I'll explain. For the people who are new here, Twitch has an ability where a streamer, aka someone like me, oh wow, I'm a streamer. They can take their community, and when they end stream, instead of having all those viewers no longer be able to watch someone, they just pick them up, they just go whoop, and they drop them in someone else's chat. It's basically babysitting. They grab a whole group of people and they just throw them over to another streamer. And it's actually a really big way on how small streamers get discovered. They share communities, as in like someone from one community drops them into another one. And it's just like a seamless experience. You don't have to click anything. The streamer just links you over. It's pretty cool. Yeah, babysitting. It's a way to introduce you to new content creators. And I think it's nice. You know, it's something that YouTube and TikTok lack. It's a feature that only Twitch has. Twitch is honestly, they've been in the streaming game for so long. They have a lot of really nice features that it just kind of doesn't exist elsewhere. Like, I can't do this in other chats. Like, okay, type in hi. Just type in HI in chat and you'll hear a little audio thing that says hello, and in the side, your hi will get converted into a little hello. See, look at that. Look at it get converted. See, look at it go. I can't do that in YouTube and I can't do that in TikTok. Only Twitch lets me do this. Isn't that cute? Look at all those highs. Oh my god, y'all are so silly. Teehee, teehee, teehee. Ooh, blushes. Oh, YouTube has raids now. Oh, really? Oh, I forgot about that. It's a recent addition. Yeah, YouTube is just kind of following Twitch, though. I do really like all the little integrations that Twitch has. Like, we can do head pats too. Like, if you have channel points, which you get from viewing. Oh, I guess I can explain channel points for people. If you watch a stream, you accrue channel points or like some sort of they're called carbon credits here. Also, hello, Fallacy. Welcome in. I also saw a few new chatters. Welcome in. When you watch, you accrue channel points and it lets you save up and spend things like this, like change my model. And I forgot to color my arms are still not pink.
Ooh.
I miscolored them. Don't look at that. Just look at my face. Hi. Yeah, so you can like take on and off my helmet. You can also change the suit colors, stuff like that. Streaming is hard, okay? I'm juggling so many things. And you can head pat me too. How did you become a VTuber? Please answer. Oh,
I am gonna tie gravity.
The
I
white
made a strap
arms are
for my
cute.
bag
I'm
without
glad you
having
like-
to tie anything.
I'm gonna. Ooh, you made a strap? That's cool. Okay, wait, what was I saying? I was saying, how did you become a VTuber? All right, how did I become a VTuber? Do I go through? How many times have I told this story? Wait, I guess we can do another question in chat. Give me a 1 in chat if you know Karbon's VTuber origin story. Give me a 2 if you don't. I'm curious. How many of you know my VTuber origin story? 1 if you know, 2 if you don't. Okay. We got some. Oh, okay. I think it's split because Kane's community just came in. You got a 0. Wait, the fuck do I know? All right. When a mommy VTuber and a daddy VTuber love each other very much. Oh gosh. Oh, all right. We're kind of split. Let me take out these glasses. Gotta be really serious. All right. I need to change that. Well, you know what? I'll do it in the pink. Oh my. Lexter is raiding too. We got another raid. Hello raiders. Go sniff their asshole, please. You can go sniff them. And you can sniff the raiders. Another raid is crazy. All right, you know what? I guess we're doing this. We're explaining the origin of Karbon VT. All right. Let me find a good place to explain. Oh my god, you're sniffing. There's so much sniffs. You're gonna break chat. You're actually gonna break things. That's crazy. You're sniffing so much. There's so much sniffing going on. All right. I'm gonna go. I think this is the right one. Is this the right one? No. Wrong one. What about this one? No, not this one. Give me a moment. I'm looking for the right background. Don't worry about some of my choices. Is it this one? Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna tell you the. Oh my god, that's so bright. Whoa, I can't do that then. Karbon, is this strange? I'm not strange. Yeah, I'm totally fine. I'm totally normal. I'm totally sane. I'm gonna judge the prison one? Wait, you're gonna judge the prison one? You don't like this one? You got a problem with the prison one? Here, I'll put Glorp right here. I'll put Glorp to this side. I like how it's like not fully covering the screen as well. It's so scuffed. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you damn, that bed sucks. Wait. Laying on the bed. Me. The toilet is a nice chick addiction. Yeah. I mean, you can ferment wine in there. You know, that's what you use toilets for when you're in prison. All right. Okay. I guess I'll tell you a Karbon origin story then. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the K-pop. You know what? Actually, I'm kind of feeling the vibe. Sure, I'll keep the current song. All right. What is Karbon's origin story? So Karbon's VTuber origin story. How did I become a VTuber? I became a VTuber through dubious means. Long story short, I was a physicist. I was working very long job hours. There was a sleeping pod at work for me to sleep overnight so that I can continue doing experiments. And so I was feeling lonely because I was literally in a windowless room 600 feet underground because my experiment could not be in sunlight. So and it had to be away from other sources of cosmological radiation. So I had to be very deep underground. Pod, what is in the sci-fi? Well, they were just like little sleeping pods. It was kind of weird, but regardless, I was very lonely and I had to stay up very late to do experiments sometimes. And so as you do, I got into online e-dating, and it turns out that I'm a pretty good online e-dater, and one thing led to another, and I became a professional e-boy, essentially, yeah. Oh yeah, you do know the story. Yep. So that's what I did. And I feel like you made atomic bombs. Let's hold on there. So while I was doing my physics job, I would do calls and I would basically pretend to be people's boyfriends online. And then one of the people who hired me was a VTuber. I got hired by a VTuber, and the VTuber was just like, you'd be such a good VTuber. You have the talent, you have the knack for it. And I was just like, ooh, woo, really? Wow. And then yeah, I tried it. I tried to become a VTuber and it turned out okay. And here I am, and it's been really fun. Now I collect simps at scale, you know? I no longer simp one at a time. I simp at scale. So it's fucking peak. I stopped the e-boy shit. I locked in.
Did you end up meeting her clients at the VTuber convention?
Okay. So I am no simp. Okay, sorry. First off, I know you're not simps, chat. I'm messing with you. I love that we have I actually really like our community. We have a super good dynamic. I think a lot of other communities struggle. I think a lot of other communities struggle to have a really healthy dynamic like we have. And I think literally
Simp Master 5000.
I've only banned one chatter since I started streaming. I'm pretty sure I've only banned one person. That's literally how nice we are. We've never, like, you guys haven't overstepped my boundaries. Hopefully I haven't overstepped yours. And everyone's been really genuinely sweet. So I'm very lucky. So
Thanks, Lexer _99 for the tier amount sub.
Oh yeah, Guillotine Cosmini Me.
We be big shrimpin'.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Also, Antique Doll, thank you for the 100 biddies. We big shrimpin' indeed. Yeah, I remember I took Cosmini-Me out, or Cosmini-Me is one of our mods. I had her murder someone on stream as her first mod ban, and I messaged her. I was like, Cosmini-Me, execute this person on stream. I forget what they were trying to say. I think they were trying to sniff my feet or something. I don't know. What it was pretty freaky. It was some freaky ass shit. Okay. Anyway, it was like definitely they were typing with one hand, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Regardless. Yeah. Oh, they were under 18? Oh, okay. Yeah, we did ban a few people for being underage. Mm-hmm. Also, welcome in. Hello. Alice, hi. Okay. There's another like lore thing. I went to Offkai. You know how I just said that I was a professional e-boy and some VTubers hired me. It wasn't just one VTuber who hired me. It was a multiple VTubers. How long have I been a VTuber for? It's a 1 year. 1 year. I debuted 6 months ago. So for the first 6 months, I pretty much dicked around, and then I've been streaming for a year now. So it's been pretty good. We just hit our 6-month anniversary, actually. Can you show me how to become a VTuber for phone, or like what's the requirement? Oh, there's no requirement. you just need a model. I mean, you don't even need a model. You could use a PNG. It's pretty straightforward. I think anyone can start and just see if you like it. A lot of people spend way too much and then they try it out and they actually don't like it. But I really enjoy it. It lets me connect with people. Okiwa was here. Hello, welcome in. I've been watching you for 6 months. That's right. 6 months, baby. Hopefully a longer time too. Time flies, right? I've been having a great time here. I went to Offkai and I did run into some people who used to hire me as an e-boy. And when I was an e-boy, I thirst trapped like fucking hell and back. I didn't have a VTuber model, so I used my IRL face. Anyway, I used my I had my IRL face out there, so they recognized me and they were like, oh my god, why is this guy I rented online at a VTuber convention? And I was just like, hi, it's me.
Thanks
a
to Razno for the
VTuber.
tier amount sub.
And they were like, do I recognize you from somewhere? And I was just like, no, I'm a VTuber. I'm a new VTuber. It's my first time here. It's our first time meeting.
Ooh.
Right? Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Karbon. And they were like, Yeah, that was a hard sell. I think the person I was with didn't believe me. I was with someone and I was trying to conceal that fact that we knew each other and that thing had happened. And
your caps threw
I
up
don't
on the
really
floor.
think they believed me, but I tried my best. Okay, I tried. Oh my gosh! Thank you for the resub. 3 months, Toronto. I hope you're having a good time. Oh, scientist turned VTuber. After a successful career at XFang and ex-NASA physicist, Karbon turned to streaming to connect with his community. The e-boy era. Before streaming, he also dabbled in e-boy work for personal entertainment, becoming one of the most popular creators in his platform. His lore on stream, Karbon has adventurous and upbeat YOLO as personality. Are you reading my fucking
Thanks,
Wikipedia
Icefire
page?
757
Oh my
for the tier
gosh!
amount
You're reading
sub.
my Wikipedia. Hi, my name's not spelt wrong. It's actually the people, but people
your
call
caps
me
threw up
people.
on the
Welcome
floor.
in, people. Hi, nice to see you. Also, Icefire, thank you for the. Was that a sub? Oh my gosh, for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you for the Prime. I hope you enjoy the emotes. And Glorp did do a little
your
flip
caps
for you.
threw up on the floor.
Oh, Glorp is gonna do another flip. Glorp. No flip from Glorp. Oh gosh. Here, let me toggle it manually. Lexer, thank you for the resub. Wait, I don't see how many months. Let me read. 2 months. Welcome.
Guys, the moon
2
is
months.
so bright RN here. I
I
thought
got
it
the flip.
wasn't
Don't
fully
worry.
dark yet.
I manually flipped. Here, you get another one, Lexer. That's just for you. Lexer. Sorry. I was gonna say, for the VTube wiki, it's true. I don't talk about it very much. I actually took it out of my bio, but it's true. I did work for some fan companies, and I did I did do physics research for them, and I am a successful scientist and engineer, but I don't talk about it very much, mainly because I think it's a discredit to some of the things that I do. I don't want to rely on my credentials too much. I don't want to be like, trust me, bro. So I took it out of my Twitter bio, but I used to flex on people. I used to be like, X your mom. How's that guy who tried to follow you on LinkedIn doing? Or we don't talk about that. Yeah, one of my VTuber mutes found out that we work in the same field, and they've been trying to connect with me on LinkedIn. They're like, can you get me a job? Can you connect with me on LinkedIn? And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to. I refuse. Let's see. I'm catching up my messages. I hate LinkedIn so much. This chat, Cosmini, can you throw up a poll? How many chatters think that Twitter is VTuber LinkedIn? Do people really think that? Is that a real thought that they have? Because I don't think so. I disagree. I think Twitter is a great shitposting platform, and it is not LinkedIn, okay? LinkedIn is a absolute cesspit. It is awful, disgusting, gross. Yep, and it's just stop. No, I refuse. If you tell me that I've been doom scrolling VTuber LinkedIn this whole time, I'm just gonna call the platform VTuber LinkedIn. I have 10 weekly hours on LinkedIn. What the fuck, people? Why do you have 10 hours on LinkedIn? That's crazy. I'm sorry you have to be on that platform so much. Not really. It can be both, though. Yeah, I guess so. VTubing is a social job. I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. I do really I really enjoy interacting with other VTubers, but I don't feel pressure to. You know, I don't have to. People doom scroll LinkedIn. I think they do. Yeah, for sure. 100% they do. I definitely see it. All right. Ooh.
What are you going to do with YouTube age restriction?
What do you mean with YouTube age restriction? You mean like the 18 plus YouTube age restriction? Ooh. I mean, YouTube age restriction is fine. I'm not worried about it. It's just sometimes I talk about 18 plus stuff on stream, but for YouTube videos, I just don't post that content. So all the stuff on YouTube is for everyone, usually. Oh, the AI ID thing? I kind of don't like the idea of an AI doing identification. I don't know. I really don't like AI ID stuff. I think...
You're sorry. I love LINKDIN. Why have Twitch when you can have LINKDIN? I actually love LinkedIn so much. I'm also just a college student.
All right. When you're so unemployed, when the job market is super bad and you're in a recession and you start adopting LinkedIn as your personality, this is actually a recession indicator. It's a recession indicator when chatters come up and they tell you that they like LinkedIn. Then you know it's really cooked. Unemployed chatters rise up. All right. Okay. Let me go ahead and show you this chat. Boo, boo, boo. I was going to start transitioning to a video. Actually,
LinkedIn? More like LinkedIn indoctrinated. Wake up, people.
Wake up. Wake up. All right. So I have some videos that I've been meaning to watch with chat. I've been thinking about watching some videos that I had here. I had, I'm going to minimize this a little bit more.
Poll results are up.
Ooh. Did they? Let me see what could go either way. A lot of people say could go either way. I think that's a fair assessment. Wow, we have so many moderate people in chat. I'm so proud of them. All right. What was the one that I was going to watch? Ooh, I was going to watch a Chernobyl video. So recently I've been on a binge of Chernobyl. I've watched all of Chernobyl, the HBO series, and it was actually a really moving series, and I really liked it. And there's a highly done animation that I was going to do, and then there's a history buff thing. So there's Chernobyl, like an actual accounting, and then there's a history buffs of like, ooh, these are all the things people get wrong about Chernobyl. And I'm going to watch that today, just for a little bit. That's what we're going to do today. And then afterwards, I'm going to end stream, and then I'm going to play Path of Exile. Probably in the Discord. We'll see. He watched ahead of us? Okay, just a little bit. Anyway, let's go watch some nuclear waste.
I have already heard how over 20-year-olds have been denied, and very likely it was AI saying they look underage.
I want you to know, when I posted a photo of my face on the dating platform, the like e-dating platforms, they automatically marked me as a child and tried to terminate my account. So you know, sometimes the AI facial recognition doesn't work very well. Also, Mesh, welcome in. Hello. Hi. Okay, we're gonna do Chernobyl. How do I? Oh fuck! Wait, before we do Chernobyl, I have a stream announcement to make, chat. Sorry. I totally forgot. I looked at the title. I was about to change it, and I forgot the announcement. Hold up, chat. From the 15th to the 19th, I will be flying out. I got a call literally yesterday during first off, I have a wildfire in my area, and things are literally burning down. And as they were burning down, and I was making sure I didn't have to evacuate, I got a call from work saying they need me urgently. I literally just got back from a work trip, and I have to go again. Yeah, I'm fucking mad. All right. So from the 15th to the 19th, I'll be on a work trip. However, back to the East Coast. Yes, I'm going back to the East Coast. Different location, but back to the East Coast. It's not, all is not lost. I will be at a hotel with Wi-Fi. And that means I'm going to get a check-in bag. I'm going to pack my full fucking PC tower. We're doing this. I'm getting my entire desktop. I'm packing it in a suitcase and I'm taking it to the East Coast with me, and I'm going to just try to stream. So I'm just saying streams will be scuffed. It's not no streams in 2 weeks. It's scuffed East Coast streams. And also you might get some Karbon day in the life, because I got like a GoPro camera that I can wear on my head, so that when I go around like different facilities and I go to museums in the city and whatnot and go travel, I can record it and then we can watch it on stream. So we could do that. That's a little plus. But yeah, that's too much for 4 days. Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm packing my entire PC. Oh, I'm packing my monitor boom, my mic boom arm as well. Chat, I cannot be separated from the internet for that long. Okay, 3 days is my max. I draw the line at 3 days of no desktop time. You're telling me the only access to the internet I have is through a fucking like iPad or shitty work laptop? And no way. I need to queue League of Legends. I need to grind my face on the keyboard at least once every 3 days. Otherwise, I'm going to shrivel up and die. And that means I'm going to take my desktop with me.
I've tried to stream in a hotel once. Not all that great. So, good luck.
So on the 15th and 19th, streams might crash every 20 minutes. It might be extremely scuffed. It might be, nay, I say, unwatchable. But we make do. All right. So I'll still stream. Yeah. Also, NT, thank you for the videos.
He's not doing this for us, chat. He's doing it for League. I'm
doing it for you. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to Saf. I'm doing it for you. It's not because I have a crippling addiction. Okay. It might be fine. I don't know. I found. Okay, wait. Chat. Let's give me a second. Let's turn off the lights. Let's turn off the lights here. I got it. We're gonna turn off the lights. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Okay, chat. Okay. I looked on Reddit. I found out that
don't let him gaslight you, chat.
If you disconnect the Ethernet cable from the TV at your hotel, and then you simulate the same MAC address on the TV, so you basically play pretend that you are the TV. You dupe it. Okay, stop. I'm not bald. You can hook it up to your computer and you can get unlimited Wi-Fi. So I can bypass the internet speed caps by pretending to be a TV. It's a strat. Okay, don't share this. All right. It's just, yeah. I'm just telling you. Yeah. Y'all are trying to bald me. I'm not balding.
If you're so addicted to League, might as well share with chat.
Oh, fuck. Fred's not going to like this. Oh, in Minecraft, Fred! Fred, I meant in Minecraft. I would never knowingly commit a crime. I would never knowingly defraud a business, a upstanding. I'm so upstanding. I would never.
Week,
I would never,
Karbon's
Fred.
Going to announce his PC is broken again.
Stop. If my PC breaks on trip, I would cry. But we'll see. This should be fine. Oh boy. All right, let's go watch some Chernobyl. You literally committed a crime on your 18th birthday? I don't know what you're talking about. That's in Minecraft. That's hypothetical. I was just joshing. All right. I was just joshing. All right, let me change the category. We'll do science and technology, and then we'll throw ooh, I don't know. We'll just say physicist reacts to Chernobyl. I mean, that's accurate. That's real.
Through archive.
Sorry, I had to mute because there are sirens in the back. All right, I think we're good. I think isn't that? I don't know. It's kind of ominous that I just admitted to a crime. There are sirens in the back. We're watching a Chernobyl video, and we have an FBI agent watching us. But like, it's fine. Just ignore those things. Yeah, they'll be okay. Let's see. Is the audio
April
capture?
26,
Okay, it is. Okay. I watched the first 30 seconds of this and I immediately realized that this is a high quality, fully 3D Blender animation. And I was just like, God damn, I need to watch this on stream. This is so nice. So let's go.
April 26, 1986. Chernobyl's reactor number 4 explodes, triggering the worst nuclear disaster in history. The reactor's core is exposed, emitting radiation equivalent
I like how
to
it's
dozens
green.
of atomic
By the way,
bombs every
radiation's
single
not green.
day.
By the way, it's
Engineers
invisible. You can't
faced
see
an
it.
impossible challenge. How do you contain the open core when you can't even get close to it? I've spent hours digging through archives,
You can't.
reconstructing
It's
what
so
might be the
dangerous. Like I don't. This green depiction here is kind of hyperbolic, but it depicts what they really did struggle with, which is if you got close to it, you would just instantly die. Oh, and it would fry electronics too. So it was super tough. Not my national trauma, bro. I'm sorry. It is a very good study into nuclear disaster and like the difficulty of it. Like it was fucked that it happened, but to watch people come together to fix it was pretty awesome. Just to see like all the work that people put in to do this and how to handle it. I mean, it's awful that it happened, but hopefully it's a lesson that we won't make again, or a mistake that we won't make again. It's Make AV. Welcome in. Hello, thank you for the follow. And Alvinium Wolfbane, what the heck? How are you doing? Welcome. We're doing some science reacts today.
Get close to it. I've spent hours digging through archives, reconstructing what might be the first animated model of this near impossible engineering feat, one that almost ended in complete disaster. My name is Turger and I'm a senior structural engineer, and this is the story of the
Ooh.
Chernobyl sarcophagus.
I can tell
the
he's a
most
structural
complex
engineer. He really
building
likes
project
modeling
in
this.
history.
Also, hello, I'm new. Oh, you love my model. Whoa,
After the
thank you, thank you.
accident, a team of Soviet engineers, led by Lev Bocharov, was tasked
Lev
with designing
Bocharov.
a structure to contain Reactor 4. Numerous design solutions were proposed, but only 3 were seriously considered.
I got
Each
you.
had to be judged on feasibility, cost, manpower, and most crucially, time. The mound concept proposed burying the reactor under a massive mountain of sand.
Oh, you can't do this though, because if you bury it from a massive mound of sand, where is the sand coming from? You can't fly a helicopter overwards, because if you fly a helicopter over, the helicopter will get irradiated and die. It'll just literally all its electronic components will short circuit and get fried. If it's more complicated than a light bulb, it will get fried by the radiation. Oh, wait, sorry. I know we're kind of in the middle of the video, but I want to show you what radiation looks like on a camera. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna Google a photo for you. Radiation camera. It's visible on cameras. Here's a good one. I found one. Okay. Look at this. This is a picture of radiation on a camera. It's basically the camera is triggering, and so there's a specific like small silicon sensor in the back of the camera, and when you have radioactive decay and something hits it, it triggers the pixel and it thinks that it's light. So it turns white. So you get these random white spots in your camera, and it looks very grainy because there's different levels of hitting. This is what it looks like. There's like steady dots that pop in and out of the screen, and it also fries it. If the energy from the radiation, the ionizing radiation, is strong enough, it will just destroy that one pixel. I think the best analogy for radioactive decay is actually bullets. I saw it in Chernobyl, the HBO series, but the bullet analogy, I actually really like it. You can think about it as a bunch of miniature micro bullets, and some bullets, when they hit the camera tiny micro sensor, will ignite them and make the pixel light up. And sometimes if the bullet is really strong, it'll destroy that one, so it stays permanently lit up. Radiation's effects on humans terrify me. Imagine being fried alive. Yeah, it's scary. But
Karbon,
I mean,
you are gonna reactivate my ADHD's hyperfixation with Chernobyl.
I didn't know much about it. Surprisingly, even though I'm a physicist, and I even took a class on human impacts on radioactive decay, and I didn't really dive into Chernobyl. And seeing it now is like really interesting to see. It's like a real world example of like the worst case. Also, Sketch, hello, welcome in. Hi. Yeah, we're doing some radiation today. Oh, also, fun side tangent. Even though you can't see radiation, you can actually taste it. Well, if you're tasting it, you're kind of fucked. But apparently, the survivors said days before they died in Chernobyl that when they were on the nuclear or the nuclear silo roof and they're putting it away, the high amounts of radiation triggered their taste buds. It made those like electrical signals in their tongue fire, and it made them taste a slight metallic taste, even though their mouth was completely closed. So, yeah, that if you taste metallic-y tasting in your mouth and your mouth is closed, you might be, well, you're probably dead. If you can get to that point, I think you're living at most 2 weeks. I came back to Chernobyl. Yeah. We're watching Chernobyl video right now. Yeah, that's scary. It is scary. I think there's a reason why the Hulk exists. There's a reason why radioactive nuclear decay has such a fear grip on the worldwide population, such that we have superheroes based off of them. We have multiple media, like infinite stories. There's hundreds of movies based off of this. And it's just the fact that a unseen killer for humans is terrifying. Like something that can destroy us from the inside out that we don't see, and most people have a very poor understanding of. Like to the average person who doesn't have a physics degree, radioactive decay and radiation might as well be black magic. Like, it is difficult to explain to someone most people don't have the background information to know how radiation works and when it is dangerous and what kinds are dangerous and just the general interactions. All you can really say is like, hey, this is scary, be careful. My mother was flying over Chernobyl when it happened. Oh my gosh. Did the airplane crash? Was she okay? That's crazy. I forget that this is in living memory for a lot of people. I have a DJ friend who used to work at a radiation plant of sorts, and they did an interview with a really bad accident he went through working there. Oh, damn. I mean, I would love to see interviews of that sort of thing. I looked into a video earlier about some guy sticking his head in a particle accelerator and it turning on. That was crazy. It turns out he lived, by the way. Some guy stuck his head in the middle of a particle accelerator, had a straight line through his brain where everything died, but somehow he lived. So it's possible. Crazy. Yeah. Chernobyl's radiation story is so interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is really interesting. We're about to learn a lot.
How did the iodine tablets work? I saw them taking it throughout the show, but was like Karbon 24 load.
You know what? Let me look. How does iodine help radiation? I'm reading. Oh, interesting. So potassium iodide works because when a nuclear reactor explodes, there's radioactive iodine in the air, like just everywhere. And you will absorb it through eating things, through breathing the air, and it will get absorbed into your thyroid gland and then slowly decay and kill you inside. However, you can take iodide tablets of stable iodine, and then you will be fully filled with iodine, as in your body will consume all the iodine it needs and it will have too much. So when you take more iodine, you're just going to shit it out. It's basically making sure that you have maxed out vitamins so you don't absorb any radioactive ones to your system. So it only helps a little bit. It just helps with radioactive iodine so that you don't absorb it in your thyroid. Huh. It's like well, now you know. So you take stable iodine so that you don't absorb the radioactive ones that's in the air. But that's not going to protect you from like direct exposure. Like if you're standing next to an exposed core, you're still going to die. Yeah, it's a nuclear laxative. It is kind of a nuclear laxative.
Jesus Christ.
How do you contain the open core?
Okay. Now we're back to Chernobyl. Let's go.
Triggering the worst nuclear disaster in history. The reactor's core is exposed, emitting radiation equivalent to dozens of atomic bombs every single day. Engineers faced an impossible challenge.
I hate the shovel
the
scene.
open core when you can't even get close
I
to
hate
it?
the shovel scene.
I've spent hours digging through archives, reconstructing what might be the first animated model of this near
Almost
impossible
needed to take
engineering
radioactive
feat, one
iodine
that
for my
almost ended
thyroid
in
cancer
complete
lol.
disaster.
Oh, Jesus.
My name is Turgeir
That's
and I'm a
tough.
senior structural engineer. And this is the story of the Chernobyl sarcophagus, the most complex building project in history.
It is extremely complex.
After the accident, a team of Soviet engineers, led by Lev Bocharov,
Thanks for the alert.
was tasked with designing a structure to contain Reactor 4. Numerous design solutions were proposed, but only 3 were seriously considered. Each had to be judged on feasibility, cost, manpower, and most crucially, time. The mound concept proposed burying the reactor under a massive mountain of sand.
I mean,
But
not a
this
bad
would make
idea,
Reactor
honestly.
3 inaccessible. It could even cause the structure to collapse, potentially triggering another explosion. The
'cause
monolith
there's other
concept
reactors there.
involved
I see.
encasing the entire reactor in concrete, turning it into a massive immovable brick. But there was a fatal flaw.
I have so
Reactor
much
4
respect
sat
for the
on
people who went in to help with the aftermath, knowing they probably wouldn't survive it.
I think it's a true example of someone planting a tree that they will never live to sit in the shade of. I forget what the quote's from, but I think it's a really moving one where it's like people before us have planted trees that they will never benefit from in order to help us. And we've reaped the rewards of that. And I hope that I'm able to do that too for people in the future. It's just one of those things.
loose, sandy soil. The weight of the concrete could send it sinking into the groundwater, contaminating drinking water, or even worse, causing a large thermal explosion. That left a shelter object, later known to the groundwater.
Why can't you use concrete? Why can't you pour concrete?
But there was a fatal flaw. Reactor 4 sat on loose, sandy soil. The weight of the concrete could send it sinking into the groundwater, contaminating drinking water, or even worse, causing a large...
Oh, I see. So the problem is if you put too much weight on top of this and it's on top of loose soil, you'll bring down the whole facility. And if you go too low, you'll hit the water table. And if you hit the water table, now you are irradiating the entire water supply of the country and probably that entire continent. Like, ooh, I see. So they really don't want it to go down there.
Groundwater,
Got it.
contaminating drinking water, or even worse, causing a large thermal explosion. That
Sonny, you
left
could
a
hear the
shelter
Norwegian
object, later known as the
accent.
sarcophagus.
That's funny.
Unlike the others, this design wouldn't disturb the unstable reactor. It required more planning, but it was the only option that didn't risk making the disaster even worse.
Wait, so they have to build a structure over. But how do you build? Aren't you gonna die? Like, how do you build something where you can't go to? They don't have robots. This is ancient times. Robotics was not that developed here.
Disturbed the unstable.
Wait, the rest of the reactor was still on? There's 4 other reactors. So there's 4 reactors. So one of them melt down and exploded. The other 3 didn't. However, if you fuck with them too much, they could still melt down. So you don't want to fuck with it too much. That's the concern. Without electronics as well. Yeah. Why did they have to build this infrastructure? Was the infrastructure not good enough by design? Funny you say that, Way. Oh, you know what? Let me cover that. The reason why they're building this structure in the first place is because the original one, where is it? Where is it? The original one fucking exploded. It kaboomed. The reactor exploded and blew a hole in the roof and spewed out the most radioactive components of the reactor into the open air. So it was literally open to the air. There was 20,000 Hiroshima bombs going off every hour. That's how much radiation was being put out. That is every hour on the hour. So it's uber fucked. It's like is cooked. So yeah, they needed to cover that shit, because if they didn't, every man, woman, and child in that whole country would get leukemia.
Thermal explosion. That left a shelter object, later known as the sarcophagus. Unlike the others, this design would disturb the unstable reactor. It required more planning, but it was the only option that didn't risk making the disaster even worse.
Увага! Громадяни Прип'яті! На Чорнобильській атомній електростанції стався інцидент. Об'єкт зазнав пошкоджень через пожежу, і рівень радіації підвищився навколо периметра 4-го реактора. Заради вашої безпеки ми розпочинаємо тимчасову евакуацію. Автобуси прибудуть до визначених пунктів збору протягом години. Будь ласка, зберігайте...
That's the craziest part is everyone who was evacuated during the Chernobyl disaster was told it was temporary, but it wasn't temporary. The officials knew this area would be permanently inhabitable to humans for the next 1,000 years. And they told them that it would be a temporary evacuation, but they knew this entire area was fucked for our whole generation and their children's children and their children's children. Like, they knew the whole area was completely donezo.
Спокій і зберіть необхідні речі. Влада контролює ситуацію, і незабаром ви отримаєте подальші вказівки.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to go through the Chernobyl suicide squad later. There's a couple videos I want to watch, but yes, there are a lot of people who volunteered their lives to help reduce the impact of this disaster.
To build a shelter, workers needed heavy equipment,
so it's still
like
technically
cranes
temporary
and concrete trucks, to access the site. But there was a massive problem. The entire area was buried under deadly reactive debris. Lead-shielded and armored vehicles were sent in to push the wreckage closer to the reactor. In tight space.
Imagine driving a lead tank into a radioactive minefield. Oh my god. These people definitely shortened their lifespan by a couple dozen years.
In tight spaces, remote-controlled rovers were deployed, but there was another obstacle. The reactor's roof. Unmanned vehicles were too slow. The extreme radiation fried their circuits in minutes. And yet, the roof had to be radiation.
I think this is real. Is this real footage of an excavator having its stuff fried? The radiation is so strong, it just destroys the electronics.
Fried their circuits in minutes.
Crazy.
And yet, the roof had to be cleared. There was only one solution: to send in people. This was the deadliest place on the planet, but despite the risk, thousands of men were sent.
Take care, Intique. Oh, and thank you for the 200 biddies. Welcome. Yeah, it was in the HBO series. We'll watch it later together on the Discord server. They go over about sending people in to clear the debris because literally nothing worked. Sending robots, fried. Using helicopters to fly overhead, crash out of the sky. The only thing they could do is strap a bunch of protective gear on a person, knowing it could not protect them, and just sending them in there to remove the debris. is the only way, which is so fucking it's sad and crazy, but it did have to happen.
Despite the risk, thousands of men were sent onto the roof. They were known as the liquidators.
Вони пообіцяли нам по 1000 рублів за очищення даху. Але ми знали про ризик. Наше спорядження було мінімальним. Бавовняний халат був занадто теплим для літа, а свинцевий жилет надто важким.
Oh, only the vest was made out of lead. Their limbs were
Нам сказали,
exposed.
що він захистить
It
від
did have to be
радіації.
done.
Після кожної зміни наш одяг доводилося знищувати через забруднення.
Yeah, your
Ми
clothes
могли
get
відчути,
radiated.
де були небезпечні зони.
Oh, the tasting!
Радіація
No!
мала металевий присмак. Найсильніше він відчувався біля краю даху. Що б ми не робили, нам сказали ніколи не заглядати за край.
Don't look over. Looking over the edge is you sticking your brain over millions of radioactive particles blasting up into the sky. Oh, you get spaghettified instantly. Oh, that's awful. Also, Yukiha, yeah, I'm bad at math, I guess.
As workers clear debris from the reactor's roof, a concrete foundation is
Okay.
being made around reactor 4 to help contain
Yeah,
the
this is
contaminated soil.
terrifying.
To separate reactor 3 and 4, a large concrete wall is cast between them. This was one of the most complex part of the project, requiring thousands of pipes to be cut, rerouted and reconnected, all while working in a highly radiation environment. At the same time, a perimeter wall is being built around the site, made of
So they're trying
steel
to separate the
cages
cores, okay.
filled with concrete. This barrier provides an initial layer of shielding, making it safer for workers to approach a building with equipment. To get closer,
There was so much radiation, you couldn't approach the building, so they had to construct a thick concrete wall just so they could drive up cars up to the wall. Otherwise, this was too close. And they have these little things up here to stick over to reach. Oh my goodness.
to the reactor itself, workers build a stair-like structure by casting concrete in layers. Contaminated vehicles and containers are even used as fill material. Staying at lower levels provides some shielding from radiation.
This is so smart. They stay at lower levels and they pump up concrete like this and build the walls one at a time. So they're moving inwards by building walls from the outermost layer, and then they build more walls as they get in closer and closer. I mean, it's just so scary. It's just like an unseen killer that you're working with. That's this terrifying bit.
They continue construction. Large prefabricated
humans being
steel
killed by
panels
man-made
were
stuff.
used as formwork for the concrete walls.
This man-made disaster is probably the worst global disaster. This is the most dangerous place on Earth, probably still today. Yeah.
Panels were used as formwork for the concrete walls, lifted into place with demag cranes. The largest cranes in the world, and 3 are bought from Germany. But transporting them to Chernobyl is a major challenge.
Oh, that's another thing. Chernobyl kind of marks part of the beginning of the fall for the Soviet Union, mainly because it like really damaged the trust in the nation for how bad the Chernobyl incident was. In addition to that, they had to swallow their pride and ask Germany. I think this was West Germany, so that was not good for them. But they had to go to the to the Germans to be like, hey, can you give us some equipment to fix our shit? And yeah, they really didn't want to do that.
The roads and bridges leading to the
So where did it happen? I think this was in Ukraine. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chernobyl's in Ukraine, right? I think so. Yeah, it was Ukraine. Ukraine was not a country at that time. It was part of the Soviet Union. This was in Soviet Union, Russia, and now Ukraine. Now modern day Ukraine.
site weren't designed for
I
such
think
heavy
I live
loads.
here. Stop. There's no way you would know, right?
Some bridges have to be reinforced or even replaced, and materials must be transferred between clean and contaminated trucks before reaching the construction.
What? I didn't think about that. They have a truck gets because the truck is being driven in a radioactive area, the truck itself becomes radioactive. Oh no, it's that bad.
Must be transferred between clean and contaminated trucks before reaching the construction zone. Most of the trucks used for the operation were of the KRAS model. To protect the drivers from radiation, their cabins were fitted with a specially designed lead capsule, providing an extra layer of shielding during transport.
Yeah, but how long will it protect you for? And then it becomes poisonous itself over time.
A total of 400,000 cubic meters of concrete were used in the project, enough to form a cube nearly as tall as the Statue of Liberty.
That is an insane visualization. How did they get the gravel? Did they get all the concrete in the Soviet Union to do this?
To support this massive amount of material, 3 dedicated concrete factories were built specially.
Oh, my bad. They just built 3 entire factories right next to the reactor to just make concrete 24/7. Oh, okay. I guess that's how you do it.
For the construction effort. The western side of the reactor hall was enclosed by the western counterforce wall, a structure made of prefabricated modules standing 40 meters tall. Originally, these modules were designed to be filled with concrete. However, this step was never completed. Once the walls around the reactor are complete, work begins on the roof.
That's insane.
The most critical part.
Part of the reason why this is so crazy is that no matter what happens, this needs to be done. We have to fill this. Like the reactor cannot remain exposed, no matter the cost of human lives, of price, of government political tensions. It's like, what can humanity do if they have to? You know, it's like one of those things. And to see 3 concrete factories spawn out of nothingness, get coordination between multiple countries to like move stuff in, people, thousands of people volunteering, or I mean, getting paid 1,000 rubles apparently to shovel off radioactive material into a pit at the cost of their lives. Like, it's crazy. Like it's one of those things where you really all have to come together for the greater good to make it happen.
The most critical part of the project. The main section above the reactor's core consists of a massive pre-built structure, designed to be lifted into place in one piece. This structure was known as the plane. By assembling...
Oh, someone in chat was saying it. If it isn't filled, it will contaminate for way longer, and it will kill nature, humans, and it literally contaminated Norway with radiation-filled rain. Yeah, you get rainwater that's radioactive. That's terrifying.
It in a safe location.
The bigger picture is actually terrifying. I don't think you understand. Yeah, when I was a kid and I learned about Chernobyl, I just thought, whoa, this is crazy. Like, that's insane. You know, a nuclear power plant going bad. But then when you actually learn about how bad it is, like, this is a continent-wide disaster. Yeah, this is really scary. I mean, thankfully, all reactors are designed not to do this now. Oh, the bunnies have raided us. Hello, bunnies. Bunnies, do you like radiation? Can I interest you in radiation? Welcome in. Hello. Oh, we're sniffing you right now. Look at all those. Look at us sniffing your booties. Welcome in, Raiders. We're currently watching, we're learning about the Chernobyl disaster, and I was just telling people how, like, crazy it was to leave it like, if people did not go fix the Chernobyl reactor disaster, it would be super bad. And we're just talking about all the engineering that went into fixing it. Radiated moon rabbit. Also, yeah, welcome in. I hope you had a good stream. What were you up to? What are you up to, Raiders? If only radiation was like movies or comics. I wish radiation was like movies or comics. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Then we could get superpowers. I want superpowers. Do you want superpowers? Ooh.
As the plane. By assembling it in a safe location, engineers minimize the need for on-site welding.
Wait, we were going through. Sorry, I'm pausing. I want to welcome the raiders properly. Oh, and make sure we shout them out, by the way. We were going through Hollow Knight, forgot everything, so I had to start over. Oh, you want to play Silk Song? I see. Yeah, I hope you have fun. Hollow Knight is a very long and difficult game, which is why I haven't tried it. But I hear it's really fun. I mean, just seeing how rabid people are about Silk Song, I assume Hollow Knight has been super enjoyable. So I hope we've had fun. Also, Mia, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome to the space station. All right. Okay. Back to Chernobyl.
By assembling it in a safe location, engineers minimize the need for on-site welding and bolting, reducing worker exposure to radiation.
Oh, they're
Structural
building
engineers typically approach designs in one of two ways. One way is calculating a building from the ground up, where every structural element is planned and accounted for. The second and more complex way involves extending an existing structure. In this case, engineers must analyze the original building structural system, often without having designed it themselves.
And they can't measure it either, right? Because they're adding onto the original Chernobyl building, and they can't go in and measure how like structurally sound it is, because the thing, and it exploded too. Like, you have to build on top of an existing building that has a hole in it that has who knows what that explosion did. But at the same time, every second you're there to take a measurement or to see how things are, you're dying. You're like actively dying. So you can't be there very long. Pain. You just have to look at it and take a guess. Yeah, I assume a lot of it is obscured.
Analyze the original building
Yeah, there's debris everywhere.
structural system, often without having designed it themselves. This can be challenging, as original drawings and calculations may be incomplete,
How long do you think this plan
lost,
took?
or even
That's true. They're on a time limit. This is like actively irradiating the entire European population is losing cumulative lives until they finish this. So this is like a time limit. Like, there's radioactive rain happening right now unless they build a shelter over Chernobyl's exposed reactor.
contain undocumented modifications made during construction. At Chernobyl, this uncertainty was even greater. The explosion had likely weakened the remaining structure, but the full extent of the damage was unknown. Adding to the challenge, the roof itself was one of the heaviest structural elements ever built. A collapse could lead to further radioactive releases, or worse, another nuclear explosion.
Could you imagine the roof caving in and then causing it to go off again? Oh my god, that would be so bad. That would be omega bad.
Further radioactive releases, or worse, another nuclear explosion. Failure was simply not an option. Fortunately, a specialized device was made for closer inspection, the bathyscope. This 25-ton chamber made of lead, equipped with a small observation window, was the only way to examine the remains of the reactor's structural system.
There's no way. What? In order to find out the structural integrity, because cameras didn't work, they put a person inside a lead box and lowered them into the reactor core? This guy's dead. There's no way. He's fully dead, right? Can we just build a bigger house covering the whole thing though? I mean, they're trying to cover it right now. That's the thing that they're doing. Oh god. This
25-ton chamber made of
How
lead.
bad, scientifically speaking, would it take for it to destroy the world?
It would not destroy the world. Okay, here, let me give you the worst case scenario. What would happen if Chernobyl was not covered? Everyone inside, anyone within like a 2,000 mile radius of the disaster in Ukraine would probably get cancer in their lifespan. That entire area would become inhabitable. You would get nuclear winds Like, you would have radioactive dust get picked up by the winds, carried all across the country. Rain everywhere. Every animal that's in that radius gets irradiated, and then they go and they travel to other areas, and then they fucking kneel over and die from cancer, and then other animals will eat those animals and then also get cancer, and it will spread countless miles out. Like, one of the things that they had to do during Chernobyl is they had to murder every animal within like a few 100 miles just to make sure that they would not spread radioactive disease everywhere. And on top of like all the water getting poisoned and that entire area being done, it's done for millennia, like thousands of years. So this box needs to go on. Crazy, right? Like, it's not gonna kill everyone in the world, you know? It'll be fine. Humanity will chug on, but that entire area will become inhospitable, which is insane. I got scared, so I didn't go to look, but I looked on Google and only a tiny bit of the place is radioactive. Yes, because they put a lid on it. This was what we're seeing here is how they got to the successful project, but eventually Chernobyl was contained. If they did not contain it, it would be very radioactive today.
With a small observation window was the only way to examine the remains of the reactor's structural system close up. The volunteers who entered this claustrophobic metallic coffin were called the cosmonauts, and
Cosmonauts. They were called cosmonauts? Wow. I mean, okay.
they are fitting for those venturing into the unknown. But there are chilling rumors surrounding these missions. Some claim that in moments of crisis, the bathyscap's door
The
had to be
sarcophagus
opened.
was built in 206 days. Oh, that's a lot of days for the radioactive disaster to be exposed, but I assume they were trying their fastest. The suicide workers got a sick cool days before dying. I mean, someone had to do it.
exposing those inside to direct radiation from the exposed core. Also,
What? Wait. Why did they open the door? Why?
into the unknown. But there are chilling rumors surrounding these missions. Some claim that in moments of crisis, the bathyscap's door had to be opened, exposing those inside to direct radiation from the exposed core.
Stop.
Also,
They're saying it's a rumor. It's a rumor. It didn't happen, okay? My brain cope is that the lead was safe and they were fine.
a blimp with a 40 kilowatt lamp was used for work during nighttime. The workers nicknamed it the chandelier, and it was later buried, being highly contaminated.
Imagine lighting up your work site with a blimp overhead. And this blimp here became so radioactive over the course of 206 days that they had to bury the entire blimp because it was a nuclear waste product. Oh my god. This is terrifying.
Work during nighttime. The
Xander Van,
workers
thank you for the
nicknamed
follow.
it the
Welcome in.
chandelier, and it was later buried, being highly contaminated. During the inspection, engineers found that 2 existing ventilation shafts had survived the explosion, but they were never designed to support the immense weight of the plane beams. In a rather unsuccessful attempt, they were filled with concrete. Meanwhile, on
Did
the
that
west
work?
side, the plan was to rest the plane beams on what was left of the central hall's walls. The massive DMAG crane was the only machine on the planet
Who knows if
capable
this
of
works?
lifting the plane into place, but the crane operator only had a grainy TV screen for guidance. To make
They're grainy TV because of the radiation.
things worse, the crane's maximum lifting capacity was 159 tons, the exact weight of the plane. But
This is every engineer's worst nightmare when you have to, or scientists as well, when you have to go right up to the tolerance when your maximum capacity is 159 tons and the load that you have to bring is 159 tons. That's painful. And if it drops, you set off a bomb.
the exact weight of the plane. But that was without counting for the diagonal cross beams.
Yeah, what a horrible
pla-
situation. Yeah, it's like it has to be done. And the thing is, they can't reduce this weight because they have to fully assemble this before dropping it. This is just the metal base frame, and they have to weld it there, but weld it on the floor outside in a safe area before lifting it over, because if you try to weld it overhead, the welders will die. So you have to build the full thing and then drop it on top. Sunny is saying the rain. Yeah, the rain is a really big component of like how deadly this thing could be.
For the diagonal cross beams.
Carbon isn't normal for a hand to be green. You're getting superpowers. Don't worry about it, Ty.
But then, as they lowered the boom, a loud crack echoed through the site. People turned to see the unthinkable. The rear wheels of the crane were 1 meter off the ground.
Wait, when they went to lift it over, it cracked and then lifted the crane?
A loud crack echoed through the site. People turned to see the unthinkable.
Oh, that's awful. That would, I'd be shitting my pants. I'd be like, oh no,
the entire machine was tilting forwards, balancing on its toes. For a moment, nobody moved. If the crane tipped over, it could crash straight into the exposed reactor. In a last-second decision, a 40-ton lead-filled container was placed onto the crane's counterweight.
Oh, they got another crane and just dropped a lead block on it. What are we doing? This is so fucked. This is so scuffed.
Slowly settling the wheels back onto the ground. Disaster had been avoided. With great relief, the installation of the crane was successful.
Stop.
To add another layer of protection, massive concrete pipes were placed on top, originally meant to be filled with concrete, but because of the extra weight, they remained empty. Next came a web of steel trusses, before the top of the plane was sealed off with heavy shield plates. 4 additional beams had to be installed. 2 ran alongside the main roof, as well as the octopus beam and the mammoth beam. The mammoth beam was the largest beam in the entire project, weighing 50 tons. These beams would support the final shield plates and the so-called hockey sticks. The project is then finished off by reinforcing and covering up the remains of the turbine hull roof. In November, almost 7 months after the explosion, the sarcophagus was completed. The project required almost 90,000 workers, and the workers celebrated the completion by signing the last element that was installed. The sarcophagus was...
You had 90,000 people risking their lives to finish this? Oh my gosh.
Never meant to be a permanent structure. With an expected lifespan of only 20 to 30 years, it is now crumbling. That's...
No! 20 to 30 years? Kicking the can down the road type human shit.
That's why the entire sarcophagus is now enclosed by an even larger structure. The new...
Who said, why don't we put it in a bigger structure? Here you go.
Safe confinement, or NSC. This massive shelter houses a large crane, designed to dismantle both the old sarcophagus and the remains of Reactor 4. If you would like me to make a part 2 of this video,
they just covered the whole thing. They just covered the whole thing. I see. But it's easier to build the second structure because of the sacrifice in the first structure. Because now that the first structure exists, you can actually build something like this and then move it over without, like, you know, dying from the radiation. Now that it's like partially shielded. Oh, crazy. I mean, just even assembling and like figuring out the disaster afterwards. Oh my gosh. Is this a lecture? Part 2, please? Oh man, I do wish I hope they have a part 2. Do they have a part 2? Let me see. I'll check their channel. Do they have a part 2? They don't have a part 2 for this one. Not yet anyway. Hopefully they will. But I can show you another one. This is one that I really liked. So this is History Buffs. This guy's like correcting all the rumors about Chernobyl. Ooh, alternative history. Wait.
In 1986,
what if the Chernobyl disaster was worse? Oh my god. Can it be worse? All right, we're going the bad route. Yeah, let's go. We're watching the bad route. we're we're going the bad route. Let's see
In
what's happening.
1986, the world witnessed a horror unleashed by corruption and negligence. A cascading disaster that spewed out invisible particles, contaminating everything they touched. The
There was
Chernobyl
3 other
disaster
reactors, dude. Of course it could be worse.
released more radiation than 100
no.
Hiroshimas, causing genetic mutations in thousands of people. A few
That's
dozen
true.
died
I just
from
don't know
acute
how
radiation,
much worse it could have been.
thousands
You know?
from various forms of cancer.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, an already dying Soviet Union was forced to hide its scar and throw billions worth in materials to hide it. The cleanup took years and over 1 million people, and as bleak as that is, what if it was way worse? What if the gaping pit of death was just never closed?
Lillian, hello, welcome in. Sorry, we're looking at natural human man-made disasters.
Support the channel while also getting more out of it? Well, then you're in luck. Once a month, a YouTube community poll gets posted, and the audience votes between 4 scenarios, ranging
I think
from
this is the
ask
one.
me
Okay.
questions about the channel and stuff. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant was a symbol of Soviet autonomy, a marvelous wonder of science supported by its nearby town Pripyat, the 9th town of the atom. The Soviet Union was in severe decline, but the space and nuclear programs were a source of immense national pride.
Okay, that's actually a really crazy thing. The Soviets had an amazing space program at the time. Like, they were crushing America. I don't know, like, nowadays we've retconned history a little bit to say that America did do a good job, and it's true, like, we did do a lot of cool, innovative things, but Soviet scientists were just frankly better in the early space days. I think no one can deny that. And they were also really good at making nuclear energy plants. Wasn't Russia the first to space? Yeah. The Soviet Union, they were first to space, and they were making really good progress.
In 1985, a new Soviet leader rose up to this challenge and initiated radical reforms aimed to democratize and decentralize the Soviet economy, aimed for greater transparency, began pulling troops from Afghanistan, and met with Reagan to limit nuclear weapons. But a year later, everything changed for Mikhail Gorbachev. Just after midnight on April 26, 1986,
even though he's a crazy
an
person.
inexperienced night shift crew continued a safety test that had been running all day. After stalling the reactor and making a series of mistakes, made worse by design flaws, a surge in energy output caused water to instantly vaporize. What followed was an explosion with the strength of 200.
There was, the problem was multifaceted. It was a design. There was a design flaw in the in the generator itself, but also complete negligence on the operators. So it was human error and design error. And it was just like the perfect storm of the two things. I'm going to drink water. Oh, thank you, Lillian. I will drink some water right now.
125 tons of TNT, which opened the reactor. Reactor 4 contained 190 tons of enriched uranium dioxide, and between 5 to 30% of it was now thrown into the open, as a massive fire began to burn all over the building. In time, a delayed Soviet response would deal with the aftermath by putting out the fire, clearing the debris, and creating a containment building around the site. But what if we were to alter this a little bit?
Sorry. Yeah, Chernobyl became a lesson for the future. It's like, yes, but I also really like nuclear power as a power source. I think it is a really great way to generate energy. Like, super efficient. Very compact, makes very little waste compared to other styles of energy generation. It's just because we are haunted by this memory, it makes every nuclear power plant that much harder to make. Like, the world remembers Chernobyl, and they're like, are we sure things will be safe? And reactor designs have completely changed in order to prevent stuff like this.
Like the ludicrous theory proposed by the HBO show, in which a thermonuclear blast blows up all 4 reactors, we're going to stick to something much more grounded. A scenario that we actually narrowly avoided, but would still have apocalyptic consequences. The only change I'm making here is in the amount of radioactive material that was blown up. What if instead of 5 to 30%, it was somewhere around 50 to 60%? In our
Is that gonna
timeline,
change that
very
much?
few people died of acute radiation sickness, most of them firefighters. It was the initial impact and fire that did the most amount of damage and made Chernobyl.
Oh, I don't want to see this anymore. I'm done. We did luck out. Only 30% was thrown out, and it could have been more. I can already tell where this is going. I can already see like the radiation exposure just claims way more lives, and it becomes way more difficult to manage. That is rough. I kind of want to see what this guy says.
The following
This
We are
guy
going to explain what happened at Chernobyl. Now that you've got the physics and intuitive background to understand the actual sequence of events. To kick it off,
That's crazy. What is? I can't believe this is on YouTube. It's a physics lecture from MIT explaining the nuclear physics behind this. I might watch this on my own time. Oh my god, a graph.
it's around a barn. Not super high, but absolutely not negligible. And in a light water reactor in the US, if the coolant goes away, so does the moderation, and there's nothing left to slow those neutrons down.
All right, chat. I'm watching this on my own time, and I'm making it into a short. I'll probably explain how Chernobyl... Do you think I can fit how the physics behind how the Chernobyl meltdown happened in a minute? I probably could. I hope so. This seems interesting. Maybe I'll watch in the Discord server. No, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I can try, but I don't think I would. I think there's a movie. Well, there's the HBO series. It was a good series. I actually really enjoyed the series. Sorry, I get happy with graphs. Okay, I get happy with graphs. I want to see the what if episode. Do you want to see the what if episode? It's gonna make me sad. It's gonna make me sad. All right. I'm gonna do the what if episode. Sure. Fine. You don't have to. Okay, then I won't. I'll drop the link though. Here, let me find the what if episode. Where is it? Not this one. Here it is. If you want to finish the video, here's the link. This is the link for, well, it's actually not that long. All right. Okay, we're gonna get depression. It's fine, we'll get depression.
Chernobyl a death trap.
Okay.
With the added
We'll get depression.
radioactivity,
Fine.
the effects on the firefighters wearing no protective gear would be immediately apparent. 1:23 a.m. AZ-5 is pressed, and a minute later, a giant fireball blasts the roof off the reactor. Fire begins to spread.
Can you reverse it a little? Yeah, I got you.
What if instead of 5 to 30%, it was somewhere around 50 to 60%? In our timeline, very few people died of acute radiation sickness, most of them firefighters. It was the initial impact and fire that did the most amount of damage and made Chernobyl a death trap.
I find it.
With the added radioactivity, the effects on the firefighters wearing no protective gear would be immediately apparent. 1:23 a.m. AZ.
They were talking about the firefighter Chernobyl stuff, and I wanted to show. Do you have an image here? Let me see. Here it is. It's very small, but
I think it's good to be excited about this. You are not excited about the human life lost, but what we can learn and how we can prevent this from happening again.
That's
Curiosity saves lives in situations like these.
I am excited. I'm excited to learn about it, but I understand that it was a tragic event. It's like you have to tread carefully. That's how I feel. What I'm showing you right now, this is a picture of firefighter clothing from Chernobyl that's still resting at the bottom of a hospital near in Pripyat. It is clothes that are now nuclearly radioactive because the firefighters who went to go put out the fire from the first explosion in the Chernobyl reactor all got radiation sickness. and their clothes are so irradiated to this day that even 100 years later, they're still glowing. They're still doing their shit. Yeah, crazy. Okay. Well, I guess it's not 100 yet.
Z5 is pressed, and a minute later, a giant fireball blasts the roof off the reactor. Fire begins to spread, and the local firemen are called. 5 minutes later, 14 of them, present at the station, arrive at the scene. They localize the
Love
fires
graphs
on the
so
roofs
much,
of
but
reactor
doesn't have a
3
graph
and 4,
emote?
40
For
minutes
shame,
later,
Karbon.
while reinforcements
Karbon
were brought in
24
from the
bong.
local towns.
Karbon 24 bong.
Okay, I'll add a graph mode. I'll figure it out.
Another 2 hours before 250 firefighters were combating the fires at 4 a.m. It took them an hour to quench most of them.
Carbon captions? Oh, sorry, captions. I got you, captions.
40 minutes later, while reinforcements were brought in from the local towns. It took another 2 hours before 250 firefighters were combating the fires at 4 a.m. It took them an hour to quench most of them, preventing the inferno from spreading to Reactor 3, which was operational the entire time. But consider this.
Why? First off, why is Reactor 3 still on? Why didn't they turn that shit off? Like, once you have an active explosion in one reactor, don't you want to flip the switch off on the other ones?
With increased radiation, the firemen on the scene would receive lethal doses only after minutes of exposure. Severe headaches and diarrhea would occur, and the reinforcing firemen would be met with not only a glowing fire, but a horrific scene of fallen comrades convulsing, puking.
The fact that the fire was glowing due to radiation is insane. It was like a blue glowing fire. Apparently, it was a thing of legend.
And in shock. None of them knew what they were dealing with. Nuclear reactors were under the supervision of Soviet authority.
Glowing blue? Yes. Here, let me find. Let me find a video depiction. There's
If you've ever.
Oops, sorry. Blue fire Chernobyl. Wait, I'm trying to find the glowing fire. It was glowing. It was not like... It was not normal. Wait. Is this a real video? Is this... Thankfully it's not on fire right now, but yeah, there was a blue glowing fire. You could see it at night. He's screaming at the helicopter people. Oh no. Okay.
Regardless where they were stationed, but the blame and the responsibility would
Oh, sorry, Paul. We don't have a point gambling system, but we do gamble occasionally on stream. All right, well, let's go.
Immediately fall on the republic they were located in this case, the Soviet Republic of Ukraine. The firefighters would regroup and reassess the situation, doing little to stop the raging fires on the roof and turbine hall. Additional smaller explosions would follow.
Wait, the fire is so bad. Wait, I just realized this. Heat rises, right? And if heat rises, that means you're carrying radioactive dust across the country. Oh, shit. The fire was put out right away, but in an alternate timeline where the fire couldn't be put out, that's pretty fucking bad.
The situation gets significantly worse once the fires reach the supplies of diesel and chemicals. Declassified KGB documents reveal that the government knew as early as 1983 that reactors 3 and 4 were the most dangerous ones in the Soviet Union. These papers revealed in 2021 showcase that the room housing the steam separator...
We only got these papers in 2021? That's crazy. 4 years ago? These were declassified? Oh my gosh. I want to see this shit now. I'm going to read this.
Frequently overheated, causing the concrete to shift in its position.
40
By
years,
6 a.m.,
yeah.
the fire consumes the entire building.
Wait, what was wrong with it? Wait, sorry, I missed that.
Operators frequently that the government knew as early as 1983 that reactors 3 and 4 were the most dangerous ones in the Soviet Union. These papers revealed in 2021 showcased that the room housing the steam separators frequently overheated, causing the concrete to shift in its position.
Oh, so in the steam separators, as things heat up, it heats the concrete and the building around it, and that constant thermal expansion and contraction cause the concrete to weaken. I see.
By 6 a.m., the fire consumes the entire building and causes a meltdown of reactor 3. More and more fuel is added to the fire as graphite begins to act as coal, and the intense temperatures begin to melt anything in its path, causing structural failure. The steam rising high into the air is spread westward by the winds, forming death clouds, ready to...
Sorry, I forgot to mention, we have death clouds now. Okay. Now, we're in death cloud territory.
Unleash havoc in the form of radioactive rain. And so, with heavy debris thrown out in the vicinity, clouds spreading radiation northwest, a superheated core melting into the ground, and a fire that...
Yeah, there's a... So, the nuclear reaction is still ongoing, and it's melting, and there's like molten radioactive metal that's dripping into the ground and eventually going to contaminate the groundwater.
Engulfed the entire building of reactors 3 and 4. How would the Soviet Union respond?
How would they respond here? Yeah.
The Soviet Union dealt with this crisis, as with every other in its existence, by throwing people at it. The brave liquidators, along with colossal amounts of material, managed to get things under control in our timeline, even if it was slow, inefficient, and with a great cost to human life. But in these altered conditions, that is just not an option. Sure, dozens of helicopters can throw sand and boron at the reactor, but modern studies conclude that even in our timeline, with 5,000 tons of material thrown at the reactor, almost none of it made it into the core. That being said, they did act as thermal insulators, preventing further fires, something which in this scenario would never happen. If anything, the initial strategy, which was to have the helicopter hover directly over the smoke while they dumped their loads, would inevitably cause a crash inside the reactor building. Just imagine helicopters falling on top of the already raging reactor fire. On April 27th, 1986, Pripyat and other neighboring towns were evacuated. But these 100,000 people would be far more aware of the dangers of Chernobyl. The diesel fuel explosions would be heard throughout the day. Many firemen would never return home to their families, and rumors would quickly begin to spill out. These citizens would be loaded onto buses with a 1-hour notice and kept under close supervision by the state, which would naturally want to keep information from leaking out. People were ordered to bring their documents and as much food as they could carry.
How do you prevent something like this to leak? You can see this with satellites.
They would return in 3 days, a timer which, when expired, would escalate the panic even further. Soviet invincibility was to remain unquestioned, and the head of the Ukrainian Republic, Volodymyr Shebitsky, firmly believed in nuclear energy. As with much in this disaster, the man was the worst possible candidate to lead Ukraine at this critical...
Okay, nuclear power is viable, but you do have to handle your disaster, okay? You can't manifest a solution. I'm sorry, but it feels like the Soviet Union was all about manifesting good results, even if they weren't happening. Hello, everyone. I'm new here. Welcome in. Hi. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, this is an interesting time to join. We're looking at the Chernobyl disaster and how it could have been significantly worse. But normally I'm an upbeat science streamer. Sometimes we get negative. Today we're doing alternative universe stuff. Welcome in.
Juncture. A conservative who hated Gorbachev's radical policies, a neo-Stalinist who did everything he could to Russify Ukraine. he went ahead with the planned May Day parade, even taking his grandchild to the celebration, while being fully aware of the danger. May 1st was like the 4th of July for the Soviet Union, so this was just a recipe for disaster. On that day,
What? Shortly after the Chernobyl explosion was their Independence Day for Ukraine, and they still had the parade anyway? They're so fucking stupid. There's literally poison clouds outside, and they're like, let's do the parade. Oh god. That yikes.
fire, which had been burning for quite some time, would
they're so stupid. Anyway,
create particles that
making me
easily
crash out.
traveled the 60 miles from Chernobyl to Kiev. Those particles would deposit themselves in the lungs, skin, clothes, and bright red banners of the unsuspecting 2.5 million people. By this point, those same particles would be detected by the Swedish as well as NASA spy satellites. The gaping pit at Chernobyl would spread it.
Okay, they're not NASA spy satellites. Okay, spy satellites aren't owned by NASA. NASA's a civilian division. Okay. Also, oh no, I'm bald.
It's poison from far beyond the Iron Curtain, raising many questions. Questions that the heads of state were unwilling to answer. As seen in the HBO show, there was a real fear of the reactor fuel melting into the water bubbler beneath, which contained a lot of water and thus would lead to a thermal explosion when the hot material vaporized it. However, this is one instance of Hollywood drama. In reality, this had already happened, and it didn't cause a substantial explosion. Even if it did, it would be about 200 times less powerful than the initial blast.
Thanks,
However,
Crimval, for the
considering
tier.
the dramatically worse circumstances in
Crimval, thank you for the sub.
in the area, the miners are never sent to build a concrete pad underneath the reactor. What that means is that a significant amount of radioactive material does make it into the groundwater. Chernobyl is only a few miles away from the Pripyat River, which flows into the Dnieper, the fourth largest river in Europe, flowing downstream to dense population centers like Kiev and Kherson.
Radioactive river! Yeah, death clouds aren't enough. Now we have death rivers.
Fishing, livestock, and agriculture would be severely affected. And when you add on top
this didn't happen in our timeline because there was no fire. Miners were sent underneath to build a concrete barricade to prevent the radioactive waste from leaking downwards. So there's the sarcophagus also extends underground as well. There's a concrete wall between the reactor and the groundwater. But if they didn't build that, it would just keep going down.
top of that, the rain that would affect the nearby area, we're talking about a severe famine. At the time, the Soviet Union was struggling to meet demands for food supply and was forced to import a vast amount of grain from outside places, including the US, as demonstrated by the 1973 wheat deal. Ukraine was its breadbasket, one which the state was known to exploit severely in the past. This was mostly due to how well irrigated the region was by said river, and because of the abundance of black soil, or Chernobyl. This soil was an agricultural gold mine, and now anything grown on it would very likely be contaminated. Thousands of cattle would have to be put down, the fishing industry would turn belly up, and agricultural products would be tossed aside. The Soviet people would have to choose
Chernobyl is such a bad... Wait a minute, you're right. Someone said the location. Why would you put Chernobyl right here next to a river in front of your breadbasket for your whole country? Did no one consider what would happen in disaster? That would literally cripple the entire country. Could you not move it anywhere else? Please?
Chernobyl. This soil was an agricultural gold mine, and now anything grown on it would very likely be contaminated. Thousands of cattle would have to be put down. The fishing industry would turn belly
put it
up,
in a desert or something.
And agricultural products would be tossed aside. The Soviet people would have to choose whether to starve or to eat poison. The first horseman of the apocalypse would by this point be very apparent, as tens of thousands of people begin to show signs of radiation sickness. But the second horseman, famine, would really shake things up. In our timeline, rumors and myths around pregnant women and people who decontaminated the site led to abortion rates skyrocketing and avoidance of everyone who was near Chernobyl. Neither of these were scientifically accurate, and yet...
What? If you were near Chernobyl during the disaster, people avoided you? Ah, that so feels bad. You already lost your home and your livelihood, and you got an abortion as well, and now your friends and family from Kiev won't talk to you. Oh, that's sad.
And it persisted in the national
I understand,
and even international
but
consciousness for decades. Radiation doesn't spread like an infection, but with how bad things are in this scenario, that's exactly how people would treat it. Any person, food, or water source that even had the possibility of being in range of the accident would be avoided at all costs. Those children celebrating the May Day parade would fall ill. Their quick metabolism absorbing radioactive iodine, which would cause pounding headaches and thyroid cancer at unprecedented rates, sending their parents into a frenzy. Remember the apocalyptic feeling of those first few months of COVID.
Kids are disproportionately affected by radioactive environments because they grow so fast and they have higher metabolisms. Anything radioactive or bad in the environment affects them like 10 times more than an average adult. So it's a really big concern. So unfortunately, the kids would show signs before anyone else would.
Then dial that up to 11. There is a pretty good chance people start drinking bleach as a way of fighting radiation. Add to that an untrustworthy and severely shaken government, and you have a recipe for disaster. Firstly, the countries most affected by the fallout would blame the centralized government for its incompetence and demand answers. There is a possibility that Ukraine's 50 million and Belarus's 10 would be the first to try to break off in a violent manner. With some of the conservatives using this as an
it wouldn't. Drinking bleach would not help. But imagine you are in Ukraine. There's a nuclear disaster, an unknown killer, and all that's happening is everyone around you and children are getting sick. People around you are getting sick. The government is lying to you. They are purposefully obscuring information. What do? Right? Like, you will come up with really shitty home remedies and you're just going to do them. It's going to be bad. Some of these home remedies will probably kill people. Like, that's how it shakes down. And so you'll end up with people drinking bleach. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what would happen. And yeah. Human behavior is pretty accurate like that.
Opportunity to turn against Gorbachev and his radical policies which hadn't even kicked in yet. Those ordered to deal with the crisis, both in putting out the fire and rebellion, might just disobey or directly oppose the bureaucracy. By the end of May, the last of the fires would have burnt out, which meant that they would burn for about 5 extra weeks longer than in our timeline, with much greater intensity. There was a way for these particles to be dealt with, however, as both NATO and the Soviets would mobilize pilots and artillery armed with silver iodine munitions. This would turn the radioactive clouds into rain, preventing it from reaching dense urban areas.
I didn't know this was an option. We have geoengineering solutions where we can stimulate rain. Like, they can just the United States can just make artificial clouds that force rain to come out. That's crazy. I mean, that's also really awesome that we're able to do that, but the ecological damage from it would probably be insane, but I guess that's a nice last resort. And they don't do that in Cali, probably because doing so causes possibly more damage than you would like. Like, I think anytime you fuck with Earth's ecosystem, you are inviting yourself to butterfly chaos effect everything. Like, we don't understand weather well enough to make artificial clouds. We can make the clouds, but who knows what will happen afterwards. I think that's the main concern.
In our timeline, this actually occurred, and the Soviets sacrificed half of Belarus to save Moscow. But in this scenario, the effects would be so much worse. Not all clouds would be intercepted, and the prolonged fire would spread
Mother
particles
Nature will
east
and
and
has
south,
kicked our butts
as
for
well as
playing God.
Yeah, Mother Nature has kicked our butts for playing God many times. It's likely misunderstanding the real use of iodine solution for thyroid protection led to the false story about drinking bleach. There's no evidence that this practice actually occurred. I don't know if it actually occurred, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did, you know? And I think it's likely that a non-zero amount of people would turn to like herbal or home remedies that did more harm than good.
Northwest. Upon meeting the mountains, heavy rain would pour all over the Alps, Caucasus, and Balkans, contaminating even more people, turning this local disaster into a regional one.
Yeah, this is definitely a regional disaster.
Supply lines and infrastructure would break down, and each republic would be left to fend for itself. The Afghanistan withdrawal would become totally disorganized, and the Mujahideen would regain power by the end of 1986.
Oh my gosh,
These
we're fucking
troops
in the
would be
Middle
needed
East now?
for what would happen next. In our world, the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, largely due to Gorbachev's policies, but even in 1986, the cracks were showing. The Baltics and Caucasus were on the brink, and due to their location, the severe consequences they would endure as a result of Soviet mismanagement would stoke the flame and start a revolution. Poland, Uzbekistan, and Moldova would
the
quickly
political
be added to the
climate.
list, while puppets.
I mean, if your main central government fucks up a nuclear disaster so much that it's poisoning your very home country and your ability to feed your citizens, I think you fuck off and do rebellion, you know? Like, I think this is open rebellion territory pretty soon. It's like being insulted and beat up, you know? The damage is done and is our fault and we can't reverse it. But if someone beats you up and then you try to bandage it, I'm trying to understand. Oh, I see the analogy. It's like if you're hurt and if someone hurts you, you can't really fix it. You're already hurt. It's just now what you do afterwards. Cipro wouldn't work as treatment, wouldn't it? There are certain like treatments for radiation sickness, but most of them really involve clearing your body of all radioactive stuff as material as possible. So it's either putting stuff in your body that makes it so it doesn't absorb radioactive material, aka you don't absorb anything contaminated, and then trying to filter out your body. Like technically, if you got huge radiation exposure, you could get a blood transfusion and you could take laxatives to shit yourself out so that none of the stuff that was there when you were exposed stays in your body. Like that would be the goal. Though I assume they lack the resources to do those things.
States within the realm of Soviet influence like Romania and Bulgaria would completely withdraw from the Warsaw Pact. All of this would happen in the backdrop of the 1986 war in Ukraine and Belarus, the key republics that were the first to oppose Gorbachev. Rather than being a two-sided conflict, this would be an amalgamation of loyalists versus conservatives versus nationalist movements versus guerrilla fighters versus people who just wanted to avoid the effects of radiation, with some level of NATO meddling on top of all of that.
Oh yeah, the CIA
While
spies.
all of this was happening, there was nothing being done against the effect of radiation, which was far too deep behind the curtain for international aid. The Soviet government would be in free fall, and it could be more than likely that the young and radical Gorbachev would be assassinated by a rival party or some random protester. Unlike in our timeline, the Soviet collapse would be violent, with autonomous republics breaking out and forming their own governments in Asia. Hundreds of thousands of people fleeing from the crisis, along with vast amounts of Cold War
That's
weapons
true.
being used in
Chernobyl could have been the central set-off for the complete collapse of the Soviet Union in like a violent bloodbath. Civil War.
The West would be victorious, but this apocalypse would not leave it untouched. Mass hysteria and a refugee crisis of unthinkable proportions would cause the Reagan and Thatcher governments to make hard choices, while the global price of grain and other goods would skyrocket. If you look at the regions closest to Chernobyl and categorize them in tiers, based on how badly they would suffer from the fallout, we're talking about 100 million people in the immediate surrounding area, half of them Russians, and the other half Ukrainians and Belarusians. And then we have another 60 million Russians, 20 million in the Caucasus and
So
Baltics,
many people.
20 million Germans, 20 million Romanians, and almost 40 million Poles. Then we finally have
Not the
Austria,
Polish.
Bulgaria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Turkey.
Do you see
and the
yourself,
people in
Chad? Is that your
Scandinavia,
country?
all of which make up nearly 100 million people. In total, the regions who would be devastated by the effects of radiation, famine, and war would encompass a population of roughly 367.7 million people.
Insane. An
The
insane amount of
who would
people.
perish due to the effects of radiation itself would be far smaller than even a single %. But the way humans work, the psychological effects and geopolitical shifts would entirely redraw the map and cause the worst crisis in Europe since the Black Death. For those who remain, fertility rates would severely drop, while child deformities and cancer rates would be catastrophic. An area the size of Texas would be left almost completely depopulated, reclaimed by nature with a sprawling and slightly mutated wildlife. And maybe people, those who choose to remain, that
Fallout.
is. A strict immigration policy would be put in place, and an international mission would be launched years after the disaster. There would be a lot of efforts by the scientific community to stop the bleeding of this radioactive wound. Today, about 10% of the world's energy is nuclear, which is
10%
twice
is
of
not
that
very
produced
much.
by wind and solar combined.
10% is
But in this
actually fairly
world,
low.
nuclear energy would become a taboo, a horror story for science fiction authors. Refugees would resettle in different
It
regions
already
and
is
mix with
taboo.
local populations. The economy would slowly recover. The only Russian and Ukrainian people left would be either abroad or living in dystopian bunker societies.
That's crazy. That's how they end the video? That's an awful alternative timeline.
In
That's-
1980,
What do the comments say? What do the people say? The lack of outro makes this video strikingly haunting. Yeah, the fact that they have no outro makes me upset. No. Awful. So in this timeline, would Ukraine collapse? Probably. I would say if the explosion was like 20% worse, it would probably result
Does
in complete
radiation stay
collapse.
forever within the affected environment? Or does it take a long time to recover?
For human timescales, it's forever. It stays forever. What we've done is essentially trapped the whole problem in a big concrete dome and ignored it. If you left it open without a concrete dome, it would just constantly leak radiation. But for human timescales, it's like thousands of years. The half-life of uranium is extremely. What is? I'll just Google it. Let me not make up shit. Let me find it. Half-life of uranium. Half-life of uranium 235. 704 million years. So by 704 million years, uranium will be half as radioactive as it was when it exploded. So yeah, that's
Was
a
there
long
control
time.
panels for the other reactors in building? Because if so, you wouldn't be able to turn it off after the explosion.
Yeah, there's no off. It's just continuing to go. Yeah. Which isotope of uranium? Oh, that's uranium-235. I'm assuming uranium-235. That's the only one that they were using for the power plant. Ooh. It depends on the isotope. Some's in millions, some in the billions. The other ones aren't as radioactive.
Do we just keep building concrete over it?
The concrete absorbs it, thankfully. So yes, it's true. We just keep building concrete over it, and we just hope that no one opens it. You know what? Actually, there's a good video about nuclear waste. Let me see if I can find it for you, chat. Give me a moment. It's pretty. The way we store nuclear waste is actually really interesting. It's more positive. Let me see. Oh, here's a I love Chloe Adams.
Not
Here,
the rest is sort of like using the
oh my gosh, pre-watched slightly pre-watched.
So the concrete won't break down over time?
No, it won't. It won't break down over time. The concrete will still be there. It's just radioactive on the inside, but normally it's fine. All right, here, I'll show you about nuclear waste, and then we can wrap up. I think this will be a more positive one. Hopefully.
nuclear power.
Nuclear power.
Nuclear power.
Nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste.
Okay, I need to show you something. This is a nuclear reactor built in 1962.
The atomic power plant of the future.
Being developed by Argonne National Laboratory.
But it's not just any old nuclear reactor.
This reactor is different in many ways from the nuclear power plants that supply some of our homes today with electricity.
The biggest difference was the fuel they used to make electricity. This nuclear reactor made electricity out of nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste.
Some kind of nuclear waste.
Well, sir, where should we dump this batch?
When I think of nuclear waste, I
You
think
can
of
use
that
it for
classic glowing green goo.
I like how media has decided that it's glowing green, even though I don't know where that came from. I genuinely have no idea where green came from. Karbon, we should watch the end of stream with radioactive cats. Sure, we can look at green
yellow
cats.
barrels, you know, this radioactive stuff that we end up with after all of the fuel is used up, that we have to store for hundreds of thousands of years because it's so dangerous.
Like, we fight about nuclear waste all the time. We say, can we even use nuclear because we end up with this radioactive waste, and where should we store it, and not near my house? And you're telling me that there's a nuclear reactor that can make electricity out of nuclear waste, and it was built in the 1960s? Back then, they were predicting that we would use this technology to build this incredible clean energy future.
That is true.
2000,
it was a really
more than
big
half
idea.
the electric power of the country will come from atomic sources.
But today, we're nowhere close to that. We don't reuse any of our nuclear waste. Instead, it just piles up. But if this technology works, that means that our nuclear waste isn't radioactive trash. It's an incredible clean energy resource. And it's just sitting there sucking up money to keep it safe. We think about technology as constantly moving forward. But this is a story about how we left behind a technology that could change our energy future. So.
Oh, that's well said. Technology doesn't always
Probably
move
to
forward.
further make it into our minds that green means poison, bad. So that we know worldwide that something labeled green is no-no.
Maybe. Yeah, what she's saying here is right, where it's like technology is a sprawling web path, and sometimes humanity picks the wrong path for a while. I think we trend upwards, but sometimes we really latch onto an idea that is not good, and it takes a bit to get out of it. Oh, my cat's being asked to let out. Did you hear her meow? Let me open the door for her. Okay, I let her out. Did you hear the meows? Cute meows. All right.
This video is about what happened to using nuclear waste to make electricity, to the clean energy future that we could have had. But more importantly, this video is about the people trying to bring that future.
Her meows are very loud.
Nuclear waste.
Nuclear waste problem.
The concern about nuclear energy.
There are concerns about emissions.
Abundant power. We need clean energy. Energizes the city.
We are coming up with new nuclear reactors
that will guarantee a plentiful supply of atomic power for the nation and the world for centuries to come.
Come. Sorry, I don't know why they use that as an echo.
Because a couple of weeks ago, my friend and fellow video journalist Johnny Harris called me up and he asked me for some help on a video that he was making all about nuclear power.
Let's do this. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole on why people are afraid of nuclear energy. What are the events
What do you
and the
mean,
things
why?
that freak us all out?
What do you mean, why? 1, nuclear weapons. 2, Chernobyl. Done.
And I kind of want you to do the opposite. To look at, is there a future for this technology, and should we actually be as afraid as we are?
So I started to dig into it. And as part of my research process into nuclear power, I got invited to go visit one of the largest and oldest national research centers in the United States.
Here we are. This is Argonne National Laboratory. We're going to get to go see the research that they're doing.
I love
and they have
national
been doing
labs.
research on nuclear power since
I cast
before I
fireball.
was born.
Hold on. Do you recognize that name?
Argonne National Laboratory.
Yeah, this was the same national lab that developed that incredible old nuclear waste recycling reactor.
Oh, that's so cool.
But I didn't know that yet. So we go on this incredible tour. It's awesome. I'm learning a ton. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so overprepared to talk to Johnny about nuclear power. And on this tour,
I think it's totally fine to be afraid of things. It's normal to be afraid of the unknown. And in fact, I recommend you be afraid of the unknown and then just try to learn, you know?
thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so over.
Also, sorry, I've been to a few national labs. I don't know why they do this, but in
Also,
every
3
national
Mile
lab,
Island nuclear incident.
Oh, I didn't know about that one. I have to look into the 3 Mile Island nuclear incident. I know very little about it. Okay, sorry.
In 20th century, some products, radium-painted stuff, glowed faint green in the dark BC of phosphorescent materials. People just came to associate the green glow with radiation BC of this and other depictions like kryptonite in Superman comics, old sci-fi movies,
Are you
etc.
telling me it's Superman comics did this? It's movies and comics? Okay. I mean, they had to choose some color. I guess green is a nice one to choose. I was saying in national labs, if you ever go to an American national lab, they literally hang gigantic American flags for no reason whatsoever. Like that giant American flag is very, very accurate. Every like government facility has these giant flags, which I mean, like, you know, national pride and all, that's fine. But like they're huge and they're just randomly placed everywhere.
So overprepared to talk to Johnny about nuclear power. And on this tour with me are these two people from Oklo, which is a company that's working on new kinds of nuclear reactors. And at the end of the tour, I'm sitting with them under this big tree, and one of them says something that just short circuits my brain.
So we're actually working with Argonne closely on how to
What about the Fukushima plant in Japan? Couldn't this have happened there? Carbon 24 quadruple A, carbon 24 quadruple A.
I don't know. Maybe. I think the Fukushima plant in Japan is a fully different incident. Oh man, are we gonna learn about every nuclear disaster? Is that what's gonna happen here? Damn. Okay.
Use fuel to power the country for the next 150 years. Wait, I'm sorry, what? There is
what does it say?
Argonne closely on how to recycle existing nuclear waste in the US. There's enough
worse.
fuel
Have you
to
ever
power
heard of the Radium Girls? Our Shining Lives is a stage play about them and about how their bones rotted SND fell through their skin, out of their
Ew.
bodies. Their jaws swelled and bright green glow from their bones.
That's awful.
for the next 150 years. Wait, I'm sorry, what? There is enough used fuel in the country, in the US alone, to generate power for the country for the next 150 years.
There's enough used fuel, meaning nuclear waste, in the US to power the country for 150 years.
I don't believe. Okay, that's a startup company saying startup lingo. As a physicist hearing that, I'm like, are you assuming 100% efficiency? Like, there's no way. I don't believe you. You know, tell me the actual details there. Also, hello, Leona. Welcome in. We're learning about how people can recycle nuclear waste right now. We're trying to be a little more positive, and then we're gonna look at cats.
You can see me not believing her. I think it's some fake math. Like, maybe
I don't believe her
technically
either.
there's enough energy there, but like we could never really use it. We don't know how to do that.
Whereas like when they say, you know, geothermal, you can power the earth for like thousands of years if we could get all of the energy out of the earth. It's like, yeah, well, we don't know how to do that. Do we know how to?
Yeah, we just don't have the commercial facility to do so, but the technology is there.
Experts differ on the exact.
I'm seeing chat freak out. Just searched up 3 Mile Island, and guess what? It was a nuclear power plant built on the edge of the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I don't know why we'd be putting nuclear reactors right next to populated city areas and groundwater supplies. Like, I don't know. Maybe don't. Maybe don't do that. I think it's convenient to have an extra water supply for cooling and like working on the nuclear reactor, but we should design in the case of a meltdown, you know?
Number of years here. But they agree that the nuclear waste we have now could be used as a large energy source based on technology that we've already built. But it gets even better. If you reuse that nuclear waste, especially if you reuse it more than once, you can dramatically cut down on the amount of time that the waste after all of that's done is radioactive for. So the amount of time that we have to store our nuclear waste. The problems are cost and global politics, not fundamental technology. Here we go. By the time I got to DC to talk to Johnny about this, I was obsessed.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to our studio.
We have all of this nuclear
I'm not
waste,
fully
right?
involved on
And
the
it is
technical
scary,
side.
but imagine that there was a way that you could actually not just store it, but actually use it.
So you can use nuclear waste as fuel for more
You can
energy.
recycle nuclear waste.
You can recycle nuclear waste.
Yes, and I dived all the way into this in a video that I'm now going to promise is going to be on my channel by the time we air this one.
This is that video. To understand what's going on here, you have to understand that nuclear waste isn't what you've been told. All right, let's zoom out for a sec. Basically, all of the electricity that you use, except solar, comes from spinning a turbine.
It's magic.
Most of the time inside a power plant, what you're really doing.
I hate that you think that humans have generated better ways to make electricity. And I want you to know the solar panel and using solar cells has been the biggest innovation in energy generation for like the past 100+ years. Every other form of energy generation is just a turbine. It's just spinning a turbine, using heat, using some energy to spin a turbine. That's really all we're doing.
Solar comes from spinning a turbine.
It's magic.
Most of the time inside a power plant, what you're really doing is you're heating up a liquid into steam and using that to spin the turbine. The most common way to do that is still burning stuff near it. That's fossil fuels. But you could also use liquid that the earth already heated up for you. That's geothermal. Or you can split atoms apart inside special rocks and make them really hot. That's nuclear. And the special hot rocks are uranium.
Uranium with
Uranium-235.
uranium. Sleep.
Uranium fever. But only a really small part of natural uranium, less than 1%, is a kind of breakable uranium that can sustain a nuclear reaction. This is uranium-235. The number refers to the number of neutrons.
0.7%. Are we talking about how to purify uranium here today? But yeah, uranium-235 is the only radioactive component that's actually useful.
In the atom. So typically uranium goes through a process called enrichment, which is making more of the uranium-235 out of the less useful uranium-238. By the time that's all done, your fuel looks like this. If you take your finger up to your first joint, that's about the size of a uranium fuel pellet. Those pellets then go into these long metal rods that I got to see while I was at Argonne. And then comes the nuclear reaction. So you fire a bunch of free atoms at your uranium-235, which cracks it into smaller, very unstable atoms, and throws off a couple other neutrons in the process, which zoom off and hit more uranium nearby, and then more and more. A chain reaction of splitting atoms.
Pew.
And each time they get split,
And now we contain this in a metal vessel and let the chain reaction go chaotic. And you got a bomb. It's really... I think I did a short about this previously. The only difference between a uranium reactor or a power plant and a nuclear bomb is the rate of energy generation. So here, they're moderating the uranium radioactive decay by adding like things... different gases and whatnot in order to make the reaction slow down. And by slowing down the reaction, they can make it slowly heat up water and turn into steam and then use that to spin the engine. If they were to just let this go, it would kaboom. And that's how you get meltdowns. That's why Chernobyl existed, is because if you're not maintaining that balance, it will go crazy.
reaction. So you fire a bunch of free atoms at your uranium atoms.
Karbon's telling us how to make a bomb.
The
I know what
turbine,
you're
which
talking about.
little mass turns into energy, which makes the rods really hot, which heats the water, which spins the turbine, which generates electricity.
In Minecraft.
Ta-da! But if
Dumb question. Why are there laws about nuclear fission when third world countries already have said technology? I mean, I guess it's similar to like the Geneva Conventions. There are things that we say are war crimes and that we won't do. But when you have laws that expand over countries, enforcement becomes a whole thing. I don't know. Laws are one thing, but I think enforcement is really where it matters. Your law is only as good as how well you are able to enforce it. So people can say what they want, but what they do is a different thing.
Turns into energy, which makes the rods really hot, which heats the water.
Oh, wait. Laws on nuclear fission design. I mean, there's like laws on making sure it's safe. Yeah. Also, some people like Iran, for example, lied for many years saying that they were enriching uranium in order to use in power plants when in actuality they were using it to make nuclear weapons. So there are laws about how much you can enrich uranium as well, international ones anyway. I don't get it. If nuclear energy is such a good energy resource, why take the high risk if solar energy exists? There are many designs that are designed to make it lower risk. So humans are cocky, okay? We think we can engineer a solution so that if in the case the reactor starts running away, we have a bunch of shut-off systems to ensure its safety. And honestly, I quite believe in them. I think that they work. The problem is we don't know if it doesn't work until it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, it can be really bad. And also the size and energy generation of a nuclear reactor destroys every other type of energy generation. Like nuclear reaction is just really efficient. It works really well. I think that there's still a place for it. That said, it's like one of the things that it doesn't struggle with is like energy storage. We have a global battery shortage. There is not enough batteries in the world to store the energy we want. And if you do solar, what happens at nighttime? Where are you going to get that energy from? The sun's gone. It's not being utilized. You have to put it in a battery. However, if you do nuclear energy, you could just circumnavigate that problem. The nuclear reaction runs 24/7 all the time. Also, I say, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Hello, hello. We're learning about recycling nuclear waste right now.
Which spins the turbine, which generates electricity. Ta-da! But eventually, after 4 to 6 years, you've broken enough of that special uranium that the reaction stops working efficiently.
Nuclear
and
power
that
plants are
fuel is now
cooked
considered
anyways because of
high-level
climate
nuclear
change.
waste.
The water inside the nuclear reactors are heating up and nullifying the effect. So like, this was in France.
Nuclear power plants are cooked anyway because of climate change. The water inside the nuclear reactors are heating up. I'm not quite sure I follow.
At this point, that waste is a mix of 238 and a little bit of
Also, I love Yondor. Take care.
leftover 235 and a bunch of very unstable atoms that give off ionizing radiation. That ionizing radiation in large doses is the bad stuff. It's the scary, invisible killer that affects our tissues and our DNA in often deadly ways. And the thing is, this nuclear waste stays radioactive for an insanely long time. We're talking hundreds of thousands of years sometimes, which is, to put it mildly, a problem.
You should see how these things are stored. They're like wrapped in glowing barrels. It's pretty crazy.
We've got to find better and safer ways to store nuclear waste.
Waste that can remain radioactive for centuries, that remains a big problem.
Right now, most nuclear waste in the United States is stored in dry casks that look like this to protect people from the radioactive material inside. Those dry casks are meant to last decades, but not hundreds of thousands of years, which is what we're talking about here. So we've been having this ongoing fight for decades about what to do with nuclear waste. There are options for long-term storage, and some countries are already doing that. Johnny and I got into the details in his video. But right now, in the US and in lots
Is it true a fusion reaction can use fission waste to run? Yes, kind of. You have to purify it. That's what we're looking at right now. They're essentially trying to extract extra unspent uranium in a way to power another reactor. Hi, are you the VTuber with a personal FBI agent? I am. Oh my gosh, look all these people coming in. Yeah, I do have an FBI agent watching me. They are still currently watching me. The watching period will last 6 months, so it's been a while. It's gonna be a while. Fred, yeah. Is it true the fusion yeah, okay, I responded to that already. Oh, and I also saw the ocean energy generation. Okay, sorry. Slight side tangent. There are many companies trying to saying hi to Fred. Hello, Fred. Hi. There are many companies trying to use ocean waves to generate electricity. Theoretically, if you can harness an ocean current, like the ocean pushing its waves, and you can harness that mechanical energy, you could power the whole world. The problem is there's no issue building the thing. It's clearing all the fish and stuff inside it. Like if you build a system to capture ocean waves, what are you going to do with the fish there? What are you going to do with the salt water degrading your metal components, right? Like I think maintenance is the big issue that kills all sorts of saltwater ocean attempts. But you know, I don't know. Maybe we can be optimistic. Maybe there's a way to solve it. Mm-hmm. Tell Fred we love him. I don't want to talk to Fred. Fred's gonna get me in trouble.
Lots of other countries. There are a lot of dry casks full of nuclear waste just sitting there at nuclear power plants. So to summarize, we take uranium out of the ground, we use it once, and then we store it basically forever. This is the once-through fuel cycle that the US has today. Now listen to the analogy that they used in the 1960s to describe how
tell me 1960s.
This fuel cycle would be.
Would you say that using the 235 and not the rest is sort of like using the cream and throwing away the milk?
Exactly.
The key is to figure out how to filter out the stuff that's still
Starlight,
useful
thank you for the
from
follow.
the
Welcome
real
in.
waste that's not. Turns out Argonne is one of the few places that is still testing nuclear waste recycling in the US, and I got to go see it.
I'm just gonna go right on up.
I guess
and
there's
they're
not
gonna
much
tell me to stop
political
filming
push for it, so
right
people haven't been researching
now.
into it.
It was a whole
That's crazy.
thing. I had to send them my passport to prove that I was a US citizen before they'd let me on the tour, and
By the way, yes, you are only so. The reason why she had to prove that she's a U.S. citizen is because she's looking at controlled unclassified information. It's CUI. That's the common nomenclature in the field. There are certain informational things that you can only see if you are assessed to not be a national threat. And one of those requirements is you have to be an American citizen. Technically, it's unclassified, but only American citizens can view the unclassified material. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's what she's looking at. So she doesn't need any special security clearance other than the fact that she needs to prove that she's a citizen.
Right now.
it was a whole thing. I had to send them my passport to prove that I was a US citizen before they'd let me on the tour, and I wasn't allowed to film inside.
In order to go into this place that I can't show you, I have to wear these cool safety glasses. How do I look? Amazing. Let's do it.
Luckily, Argonne itself has actually published footage from the lab that I toured, so here's what they're doing inside that large protective box. First, they cut up the nuclear waste into little pieces. Then they dissolve the...
What? Their nuclear waste is on the other side of this? And they're just cutting it with a kitchen knife?
Itself has actually published footage from the lab that I toured, so here's what they're doing inside that large protective box. First,
It's
they
actually
cut up the
just a
nuclear
knife.
waste into little
That's
pieces.
crazy.
Then they dissolve those pieces into a vat of molten salts. When they run electricity through that vat,
That is
it
wild.
separates the uranium and other useful materials from the rest of the junk and pushes it across the vat, where it creates deposits of the useful stuff on the other side. Then they make new fuel rods out of
Okay.
those deposits and stick them back in a reactor. And it's not just possible to do that once, you can do it multiple times. Not just making electricity, but also reducing how long that waste is radioactive for, because you're using up the materials that last the longest. From hundreds of thousands of years down sometimes to hundreds of years, which is
Whoa,
a
that'd be
much
really
easier
great.
time frame to store something. If you can pull this off, you can have a nuclear fuel cycle that looks like this. You mine
That
the
doesn't look
uranium,
safe.
you use it.
I mean, I think it's safe because they can have Geiger counters. They can measure the radioactive danger inside the gloved hand. I think it probably pays moderately fine, but the people working on this are not random Soviet employees who know nothing about radioactive decay. Everyone here is a physicist specializing in radiation. I think they are able to measure and make sure that it's safe. At least one would hope, right? I believe in them, but likely they can just check. It's easy to measure.
In a reactor, filter out the useful stuff. Then you use it again and maybe again and again. And when you can't anymore,
It does sound like electroplating, huh?
then you put it
You're
in
right.
much shorter term storage that's much more manageable. This is called a closed fuel cycle, and there are lots of variations, but it's not hypothetical. Some countries, like Japan for example, are already doing this. And they
You
say
have
they
done
do
a
it
lot of
because it
things in
reduces
the
their
science
dependence on
field, and
imported
you are
fuel,
shocked
it
on what's
conserves
going on with
uranium,
this?
and it reduces the
Juzo
radioactivity
wheeze,
of their
Juzo
nuclear
wheeze.
waste, which makes
Sometimes I can still be surprised. And also, why is Japan winning? Why is Japan so far ahead? What is happening
already
here?
doing this. And they say they do it because it reduces their dependence on imported fuel, it conserves uranium, and it reduces the radioactivity of their nuclear waste. Which makes sense. So,
What? So this is being done
What
right
happened
now.
in the United
Okay,
States?
Japan
Tonight I want to
moment,
have
please.
an unpleasant talk with you.
in 1977, President Jimmy Carter announced new policies meant to stop the growing risk of nuclear war. And that meant stopping all nuclear recycling. Why? Well, you remember the materials that we separated out during the recycling process.
Oh,
One of those
what?
materials was plutonium.
Oh. Oh. A byproduct of nuclear recycling is making weapons grade radiation weapons. I see. When you do recycling, you can also make nuclear weapons. And so that's why we don't recycle. Okay.
Which is a highly radioactive element that was seen as the highest concern for nuclear proliferation. So President Jimmy
Okay.
Carter stopped all nuclear recycling, saying, quote, "A viable and economic nuclear power program can be sustained without such reprocessing and recycling."
I see.
The US moved away from the kinds of reactors that could handle nuclear waste, called fast
Ooh.
reactors, and toward the kinds of reactors that exist today, called light water reactors.
Okay, actually that's kind of fair. I actually kind of agree. I kind of agree there, where it's like, if you want people to de-escalate nuclear tensions, if you have a recycling program and you say, hey, we are just reusing our waste so that we can generate more energy, but at the same time we're making a bomb, we're making materials for a bomb, I don't think Russia is gonna like take that very kindly, you know? So I'm kind of glad that they didn't do it. Maybe tensions are better now. I don't know. Wait, you're a physicist like Einstein? Kind of, yeah. I am a physicist. Could you explain entropy? No. Next.
But while the US stopped nuclear recycling, other countries didn't. The ban on nuclear recycling stopped being
Entropy
seen as
is no one
helpful to slow
understands.
the
It's like
spread of
quantum
nuclear
physics.
proliferation. So President Reagan lifted the ban in 1981. But by then, companies had invested in the kinds of reactors that couldn't recycle, the kind that we have now.
Today, the main claim is that nuclear fuel recycling is too high cost. It's just not economical. And that's
It's true.
compared to using
It's true,
new
it's not
uranium,
economical.
which has been cheap and plentiful. What incentive did anyone have to recycle their fuel? But those incentives are changing.
The combination of wondering whether global conflict will cut off fuel supply, and the recognition that we need more clean energy in as many ways as possible, as fast as possible, has started to wake people up through technology and a dream that we'd left behind.
We are not far off from it. We're not talking about a technology that we're dreaming of, that we hope can work. We're talking about technology that has already been demonstrated before and proven. We just need to commercialize it.
There is a lot to figure out and a long way to go.
Commercialization is hard.
But if we can recycle nuclear waste, I think it says something profound about what we as humans are capable of. Splitting atoms, sure, but I mean something much more simple. Changing our minds and overcoming our fears. To use our resources and our technology and our ingenuity to make other people's lives a little bit better tomorrow than they are today.
That's true.
And this, of course, is just the beginning. Not only will atomic power be released, but someday we will harness the rise and fall of the tides and imprison the rays of the sun. We have indeed just begun.
Huge
Not
If True
bad.
is an optimistic show about using technology
That is very
to make the
optimistic.
world better. If that's something that you believe in, the best thing that you can do to support us is to subscribe. And if you
That's Cleo Abram. Oh, let me here's their channel link. Here's a video link if you wanted to see. Yeah, I don't know. It's optimistic for sure. Like for sure she's being optimistic here, but I'd like to, you know, think a little, like believe in a better future. Who doesn't, right? Okay, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, chat. I've not forgotten.
Our cat recently got radioactive iodine therapy, and as you can see, this is a Geiger counter which measures the radiation. Normal safe levels are under 100 counts per minute, and as you can see from the safety card, over 2,000 is extremely high and you should evacuate immediately. Let me show you what the value looks like when I hold this meter up to my cat. Even outside the car, we
Oh my my gosh. Look at that. Look at that cat. Oh, yeah. I'm taking off my helmet. It's low enough. I'll be fine. But then the cat.
You can already see we're getting up to 1,000 counts per minute, and it's already beeping, sending an alarm. As I get the meter closer to the cat,
Oh my god, that's so high!
so Gray, according to this card, I should evacuate and report you to the government. Don't cuddle with your cat after radiation therapy.
Why? Radioactive iodine therapy is common for hyperthyroidism. Oh, this is the cat had a thyroid problem. The cat is actually this is hilarious. Also, the fact that the cat is named Gray is really funny. Gray is a radioactive tool of measurement. Are there other radioactive cats? Is this another one? Why do we have radioactive cats?
For people both new to learning about Chernobyl.
Wait. There's another one.
I know, guys, this might sound a little mean, but I really would not recommend cuddling this cat for at least a week. So this video that I got tagged in has the caption, "I adopted a cat from Chernobyl." We can see this person holding a nuclear radiation detector, and as they walk...
Okay, they did not actually adopt the cat from Chernobyl. We know it's a treatment for thyroidism, and the cat will survive. I don't think the cat's lifespan is long enough for it to matter, but we should probably not cuddle the cat. Interesting.
Pew.
Also, Nikki, yeah. I think the cat will be okay, hopefully.
You can see the radiation levels increase as they bring it closer to its neck. So no, this cat more than likely was not adopted from Chernobyl. More than likely it got a treatment known as radioiodine therapy, which is relatively common for cats. In male cats, it's relatively common for them to suffer from something known as hyperthyroidism, which is an enlarged thyroid gland, which causes them to lose weight and become much more unhealthy. And one of the best ways to treat this is by injecting radioactive iodine into the cat's neck, and this will destroy the extra tissue there. Generally, this is well tolerated by cats. There's not a lot of complications, but it is recommended that you limit exposure to your cat after they get this treatment for at least a week.
Your cat sees you, runs home, comes up to you, going, meow, 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 meow. Oh, let's cuddle. Let me cuddle. Let me put my. Let me cuddle right on up to you, and then you just fucking die. You're getting cancer. Your cat's giving you cancer. Oh my gosh. Oh, my model died. Do you know about Finland's permanent waste depository? I don't. I'm back. Okay, fix the model.
Wait, does this mean Glorp is radioactive?
Glorp? Are you radioactive? Glorp, what do you say? The timing of the wink is crazy. All right. Come back, Chad. Come back. Hello. Hi. Let's see. Ooh. What's a good song that we can wrap up to?
Hell yeah, I am Space BOI.
Your Space BOI.
I'm radioactive.
Let's see. Ooh. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba.
I'm radiocative.
I am also radiocative. Do. Sorry, that was like a wild time. I actually really.
Good
why am I
night,
saying
Karbon.
sorry?
Wish me
I
luck
really
on my
enjoyed learning it.
cross-country meet this Tuesday.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. Bum, 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 bum. Dun-dun-dun-dun, bum, 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 bum. Also, chat, while we wrap up, tomorrow I'm planning a stream as well. If you're not in the Discord server here, let me ping it. There's a conspiracy theory Discord server night. I was thinking about doing ghost stories and conspiracy theories separately. So I might like separate them into weird, wacky conspiracy theories and then another one for ghost stories. I think for tomorrow and Sunday, I'd like to do a ghost story stream where we listen to ghost stories and do like paranormal stuff. That might be fun to do. I might enjoy that. So that's what we're doing. I have a Peak collab coming up. I have some games to play as well. I got to figure out my schedule, but I'll post in the Discord server whenever there's any updates. So it is pinned there, ready to go.
Wish me luck, please.
Thank
I'm
you.
applying to Jobs RN and I'm dreading the interviews.
You'll be good.
Good night.
It's okay.
Karbon, Glor,
Interviews
and
are
Fred.
kind of a crap shot. You never know how they're going to turn out. So
Finishing
just try
a
your best.
4,000 word research paper I've been working on for a year due
4,000
Wednesday.
words?
Wish me luck to see my
What
errors
the-
when editing.
Hey, at least you're not using ChatGPT, I guess. Good luck. Take care. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum. Mish, an ant, no way. Oh, I'm sorry, Mish. Okay, I'll be in the Discord server though. I'll be there. I'll probably hang out a little bit and play some video games. I'm gonna go eat first, and then I'll come later. All right, let's see. What do I want to do, chat? Let's see who's live. Who do I know is live? Bum bum bum. But wasting all your motion, take all your life on me. Gotta check for my friends real quick. Boom, 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 boom.
This is
boom,
targeted.
boom, boom.
You hate me. I can't believe this.
Actually, yes, that is correct. I actually strategically calculated when to end stream just to target one specific chatter. That is so real. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting follows. Blue the Wolf, welcome in. Hello. I'm just lurking.
Thank you for the
looking
amazing
people
stream.
right now.
Have a lovely night. Karbon
Take
24
care.
heart.
I hope you have a lovely night as well. It was really fun. I enjoyed like being a little nerdy today. It's been a while since I've had nerded out like this. I don't know. I nerd out. So when I nerd out, I like fully crash out sometimes. This one didn't make me crash out. I crashed out at the beginning about the old history stuff. But you'll see me crash out later. It is a really fun time. I do enjoy a little bit of fun special times. And I like doing nerdy stuff. All right. I think. I don't see my boys. My boys aren't online, so
Make
I'm
sure
just
you
gonna
drink
end.
water and take care of yourself, PPL.
Sniffer.
You too, Karbon.
Thank you. All right. What sort of chat things, interactions do I have?
Next idea for nerd out. Marine energy. Water movement made into energy.
Does this still work? Let me check. How do I do this? Is it not working? It doesn't work. Fuck, it doesn't work. Clap? You turned it off? I turned it off? I wanted you to clap for me when I ended stream, and I disabled it. I'm suffering from my who did this? It's me. Here, you know what? Ooh. I'm gonna do something real quick right now. I'm literally gonna do something right now. Give me a second. I'm actually gonna do something. Okay. I'm gonna record a new soundbite and I'm gonna make you use it. Already? Bye.
For a smarty pants, you sure failed.
Shh. Okay, is this bye okay? Let me listen to the audio. Okay, I like that. I actually like that audio clip. Okay, I'm exporting the audio clip and I'm saving it so you can say goodbye to me. Hold up. I'm doing it right now. Okay. And then I gotta set up the command. Give me a moment. Only hi has the little sound alert, but I want bye to have the sound alert as well. You know? Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, it does work. I think. Let me check. Give me a second. It's not set up yet. It's not set up yet. Oh, it's working now. This is so silly. Oh, I love you guys. Bye. 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 Take care. Take care. Take care, everyone. That was me. This is my voice. This is my voice. Bye. Good night, everyone. Glorp, give them one last show. Give the flip. Do the flip. Bye bye.